Hello, hello, and welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm the Chris who plays games, playing retro games every Monday at 9:15, whatever I feel like every Friday at 9:15. Tonight we are going to be playing Total Annihilation. Total Annihilation was a real-time strategy game released back in 1997, so that is what we are doing tonight. I hope you are all happy to be here, even Jose, who's upset that I made him miss Tribbles. But yeah, it's lovely to have you. I am the Chris who plays games. Welcome to the stream. Just gonna pop this out right here. There we go. There we go. Hello, Jen, and everybody else who might stop by. I am happy to be here, happy to see you. Gonna close this, and let's go. Let's just go right into it. So my stream is going to be a little bit broken whenever I am switching games because I could not get this game to actually pick one resolution. So it does part of it at 640 by 480 and part of it at 1280 by 720. So the Tribbles are born with different colors because of epigenetic mutation. So they all have the same genes, but like cats that have different like children that are different colors. The same cat can have children that are different colors because of epigenetic mutation. So Total Annihilation, we're going to be playing through the campaign mode. So we got this fancy narrator voice and everything else like that. Yeah, but we're not going to pay any attention to him. So we start off, and what we're doing is, what has happened is the core has invaded the home planet of, the armed forces. So I am the armed forces, the core forces are the bad guys, the red ones in this case. They have invaded our homeworld of Elysium. And so we are attempting to make it to, while our commander was off planet. So we are attempting to make it to the galactic gate up here in order to go to the moon of Elysium that our commander is currently on. So we start off with just this small infantry unit, and they have to make their way up to the galactic gate. You don't actually have to get them all through, so there's not really a lot of strategy in this. Some of the early skirmish missions are more like, hey, can you figure out how to move your characters than anything else. So there's gonna be a little bit of that. So this is not I only know I only know about Tribbles because I watched this particular video on like how do Tribbles get their colors. It's not like I know that in general. I realize that's going to just sound like an excuse because it is an excuse, but I am really just not that smart. So this is not StarCraft 64. This is Total Annihilation, which is a game that actually predates the original StarCraft, and is a but yeah, another real-time strategy game. So it does have some similarities. So yeah, so the lounge that I've currently got set up, the playlist I currently have set up in my lounge is one that I've been testing off and on for the past like week or two. So I've watched a lot of the videos in there like 8 times, and can give you a pretty good sense of it. So I did see your screen captures. I don't know what's going on, and I have not had a chance to dig into it, but I will look. So this mission, basically, I have got the commander. So he's this guy over here who's building things. And so the commander is a very powerful, like he's got a very powerful weapon, but most importantly, he has the nano-lathing gun. Nano-lathing is basically laying down a set of, you know, building materials, as we're seeing here. So he built a couple of different mines, he built a couple of solar collectors, and what he's going to build next is a KBot lab. KBots are my little, you know, infantry bots that we've got going on here. I am on a planet contaminated by the core, so what I need to do is get down to the bottom here, and I need to attack their base, their KBot lab. So oh, I mean, I believe you. I'm not exactly sure what's different there, so we'll figure it out. I have not tested all the things, and some of these things have changed over the past little while as we've gone through and iterated on some of it. So it's definitely still something that we'll want to check out. All right, so I'm gonna build 5 Peewees and 5 Roccos. Roccos are rocket launchers. Peewees are these little kind of fast shooting dudes. And once I've built those, so then the commander can build really quickly. You can see here that he adds a lot to the construction. So the base is using 3.3 metal, and the commander, when he's building, is using 11 metal. So he builds 4 times as fast as the base. So having him guard this will have him stand here and help out with all of the items that we are going to create. Now, he should actually probably build another solar collector, because you can see here that we're running out of energy in the resources up at the top. So this game has really got a lot of aspects in which it's like a resource production game. So managing your resources is important. I don't know what StarCraft has. I know it's got like pylons, and you know, I hear a lot of times like, there's not enough pylons, there's not enough pylons, but I don't really know what that means. So we're just going to attack these things up here. I think there's also like a little storage of these infantry units over here, so we're going to attack that as well. You can see up at the top we've got our metal and energy stores, and they are not super impressive. In particular, we are very low on metal. Unfortunately, there's no other metal, like you can only put mines on metal deposits, and there's not really any other metal deposits up here. So I think our building here is just going to be a little bit slow. In a skirmish mode, you'd be able to build other things like metal converters, and the metal converters would be able to take energy and turn it into metal, but I don't have that here. So our KBot lab is pretty much just going to be able to do all the work that we've got here. So we'll go ahead and take the people we have and just start making our way south. This is probably not going to be the only assault we have, because I just don't have enough people, but it may get us close enough that we'll see. Hello, Down Phoenix. Welcome to the stream. The 10 heroic Lich King fight. So the first phase of the Lich King fight, I don't know heroic. I vaguely think that there's not a lot of additional stuff in heroic, but I don't remember fully. But so the 10-man Lich King fight, you start out the Lich King fight with a series of like outer rings on the platforms, and basically there's a set of ghosts that come out, and you have to blow up the ghosts before they get out to you, otherwise they blow up and do a ton of damage, which is bad news bears, obviously. So you've got ranged who are attempting to take those people down, and this was actually really just like the most difficult part of the fight in early damage times, because being able to do a lot of range damage very quickly is a challenge. Once you do that, you've got some like plague bringers that do things like you know, they've got some kind of they leave like pools of death on the ground that do damage to you, but they also kill you. I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, so you can see that I was able to get down here, but I'm not able to get all the way into, so the KBot lab is kind of over here. There is a laser tower or something. There's a couple of enemies, so this is the thing I need to destroy. And so I've got all these kind of guys who are here shooting me. I've got a couple of artillery bots, blah, blah, blah. But really all I want to do is take all of these, you know, people that I'm building and bring them down. So I'm just going to bring a bunch of peewees. Well, so I guess there's now a thing in Warcraft where it's like you can play things again and it scales down your gear to an appropriate level. And so you can, like, things that you played when, you know, at level 80 or whatever, you can basically replay them as if you were kind of like you were level 80 again, which I think is pretty cool. I loved the Wrath of the Lich King raid. I realized that, you know, I'm not the only one. It was a very popular raid, but Guard does play StarCraft, and it is very different than Total Annihilation. I could actually speed up this game, and then it will look like I'm clicking more. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it's really just like I am waiting for my little robots to come down here and destroy this, because now I've won, even though I didn't destroy their base. So a more successful approach, of course, would be to kind of avoid all these losses that I paid, but I don't care. I'm just going through and destroying things. And so the next thing is that there is this spider weapon. So if we come up here, we can actually see there are 3 spiders. These spiders have a special laser on them that will actually paralyze any unit that it shoots, which is a useful thing. But we don't want it to fall into the hands of the core. So we are going to, oh, I'm going to slow this game back down. So we're going to go rescue them, but we don't quite have enough folks to go rescue them yet because, you know, there's a whole army between me and the spiders. So we're going to kind of sit here and we're going to build a KBot lab first. Maybe a vehicle lab. In general, vehicles are kind of preferred to... Oops. I did not mean to do that. Oh, I did. Okay, that's fine. So, in general, vehicles are preferred to KBots because they tend to be faster and are not much slower to build. So there isn't a lot of reason to build a KBot lab rather than a vehicle lab if you have access to both. So, hello, Brandy Silvers. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so there's very little, like, compared to StarCraft, from what I've seen, there's very little benefit to micromanagement, at least in skirmish and in the AI fights. It's possible that, you know, the other thing I'll say is that, like, competitive play of any kind is almost certainly massively different, and I have never, like, competitive play of this game probably exists, but it's not something I'm well aware of. So, hello, Stingray Gaming. Yeah, so in general, my general belief is that creators, the expectation should be that creators make about 20% of their money from AdSense. That everything else has to come from alternative revenue sources. That is what I have seen consistently. I know that this varies... What? Something just shot me. Oh, okay, the spiders. Oh, no! Spiders! No, no! Oh, crap. I forgot. So I've been using the, like, select all mobile units command, but forgot that the spiders are a mobile unit. And so I was accidentally moving the spiders even though I didn't mean to. So the later expansion of this added a command, which is basically select all units with weapons attached, which is a very useful command because, like, oftentimes that is exactly what I want to do, is shoot everything that can wander around and fire. It just doesn't work well when you're... when your skirmish, when your scenario has units that you really don't want to move. Okay, let's move these guys back because I'm not going to win this war with like 3 KBots. But so this was on the PC. So this dates back to 1997. It was a real-time strategy released on the PC. Yeah, it was like someone else said, it's a, you know, a game ahead of its time. Some things it has that other games at the time didn't have include, for example, the queuing system. So when you want to build something, you can kind of say, okay, build this and then build this and then build this and then build this, which is something you couldn't do with other RTSs of the time. You've also got the like, the details in these, like, all of these little things are actually really impressive to me. Like, just the detail in these maps, they're all, like, carefully... Like, these days, of course, you would have, like, some proc-gen map that would be released, and every map would be different, or blah, blah, blah. Although I guess, like, PUBG is kind of the counter to that, because PUBG's maps are totally not proc-gen or different every time. But, you know, the kind of really detailed, painstakingly laid out, highly textured, like, super beautiful maps was definitely a thing. And there are like 100 skirmish maps or something like that, some of which are super detailed, like towns, and all of which are like different from each other, and blah, blah, blah. So, all right, so I'm going to make these group 1. And we'll take group 1 and shoot things. Come on. Like, don't just stand there while one guy shoots them. Work together, folks. No, Jose, it's probably because YouTube is broken. I don't know. Oh, shit. Yeah, so this is exactly... So right now this AK is thankfully trapped between my 2 spiders that can paralyze things, so he can't actually shoot anything. But if I had lost all of these spiders, then the mission would have ended. So I clearly lost 1 spider because I wasn't paying enough attention. And yeah, so I really should have micromanaged more here. So yeah, so not ticking my bell would definitely do it. I can see how that would happen. All right. So now, hopefully we'll be able to kind of get this guy back. So what we want to do is get these spiders back to our base. And And you can see that, alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these guys and say, you all guard the spiders. So that way, hopefully, they will stay nearby and keep the spiders guarded. Because the spiders can freeze things, but not actually, like, shoot things on their own, so... Oops. Oh shit. My commander should destroy these things. There we go. Oh. Oh no, I lost another spider. Okay, I've still got one. And he is coming back to my base. We're just about there, so. Hello, Prof 420! Hello, Van Helsing. Okay, yeah, so YouTube decided that I am not worth you getting notified, is what that means, so... Seriously? There we go. Yeah, so I apologize, like I said, for the kind of crappy, like, swap screens or whatever, but you can see I killed 20 things, lost 6 items, blah, 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 nothing really important. Okay, locate all core mining and communications facilities, destroy all core units. So this is the first base that is kind of the first one that is kind of like mimics what a normal skirmish would kind of be like. It's the first time that you really kind of get into doing a more advanced thing rather than a very clear seek and destroy mission. So yeah, Jose was saying he didn't click the bell icon, and if you don't click the bell icon, YouTube will notify you when it thinks you're likely to click on the stream and not otherwise. So it's described in the product as you know, occasional notifications, but what it actually is just, you know, whenever YouTube thinks that you are likely to click, it will give you a recommendation, and if it does not think you're likely to click, then it won't. So it's like, you know, people are sometimes like, oh, you know, I don't understand, what is this occasional thing? And it's like, well, YouTube is just going to use machine learning to figure out whether you're likely to click or not. That's it. There's no magic. There's no shock here. So the idea, of course, is to not send notifications for things you're not likely to click on, because sending notifications for things you're not likely to click on is likely to convince you not to click on things, or not to, you know, stay subscribed and read your notifications and everything else like that. So it is very much in YouTube's best interests to make sure that it doesn't send you too many notifications. So as you can see here, I already lost one of my my solar collectors because there was a set of enemies here that I didn't really take care of. So after we rebuild our solar collector, we're going to build a radar tower, and that way we will actually have some knowledge when the enemy is coming in. We do have our 3 infantry killbots here still. The Zeus is a special unit that I really wanted to take care of. The names at the bottom of my screen are people who are sponsors or patrons. So people who support me on YouTube or on via Patreon and help support the channel. What I do with that money is work on building various you know, giveaways and support structures for other creators. I'm actually due to create some more stuff for another creator giveaway of some kind in the near future. I haven't done one for a while, so I basically just take that revenue and I try and give back to the creator community. So I use it to, for example, give away a VidCon, 3 different VidCon passes. I bought equipment for 3 different creators, like a lighting kit and a particular like arm mount for a like a flex tilt arm for someone who does art stuff and everything else like that. Yeah, so SnapClickCat is a sponsor, Stingray Gaming is a sponsor, Gaslit Chew, as you can see here, is a sponsor, and Prof 420. All those names should be in the bottom down there. I'm also a sponsor of myself, which is really silly. And also some of my coworkers are sponsors. I think just because they needed a channel on which they can test sponsor features, but you know, that's entirely besides the point. They are sponsors, and I'm gonna stick to that story that they did it entirely intentionally. Even if I know it's not true. So yeah, stop sponsoring myself. I'm not gonna stop sponsoring myself. I need to sponsor myself, otherwise I don't have 20 and I can't edit my emojis. You were not guilt tripped. I just observed the situation. The fact that you felt guilty about it was entirely of your own volition, sir. Sir. All right, I'm going to build a construction bot here as well. So again, you can see that managing my metal and energy really is a struggle here, especially in the early game. You know, finding metal deposits is very difficult. Now, if you're playing as Core, Core's homeworlds are often literally made of metal, and so it is much more easy to find metal on Core worlds because you can just literally place metal extractors anywhere. I will game the system all I want. To you, sir, I say, screw you. I think at the moment I'm actually in the list twice, but I do not still pay myself twice. The second one was canceled. I needed to test sponsoring myself to see if it worked with the lounges setup, and it turned out that it did not. So I learned a thing, and we filed a bug. There are so just to be clear, there's a ton of stuff out there for this game. This game was hugely, I mean, it's not quite as popular as something like Doom, but it was a hugely popular game back in the day, and so there's probably some of everything that you might want out there somewhere. All right, so I got my vehicle plant building. Unfortunately, there is a light laser tower on this hill. Yeah, so you can see that there, and that can take out my peewees pretty quick. So I'm going to have to come up with something better than the peewees in order to get up there. Alrighty, so I'm going to pull out some of these medium assault tanks and have the commander guard this so he can help build them. Oh, but I need more energy. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to have him come back here and build some more solar collectors. So yeah, this is the queuing system I was talking about. So as you can see here, I told the commander to kind of build this, then build this, then build this. And I guess that was kind of unique for RTSs at the time. That wasn't something that many of them had. So that was considered a kind of new feature. I've also got, I don't know, I've got the ability to attack things directly on the minimap. Hello, Proto Sam. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so as far as sponsors go and everything else like that, my goal is to kind of create content that is... my goal is to create content that is sufficiently interesting that people actually want to sponsor it, but what I do with the money, because frankly, it feels silly given that I work for Google and YouTube and everything else like that to just accept people's money straight up, is to spend that giving back to the creator community in some way. So I am just fine, Proto Sam. It went completely green. Oh no! Probably dropped a keyframe in there or something like that. Alternatively, I zoomed. The only thing that I'm sad about is that, like, these textures are beautiful and I can't zoom in. And I feel like, you know, oftentimes I'm like, I really just want to be at a closer zoom level on this map. But you can't zoom in or out. So, alright. So, I've got this guy and this guy. Did I make the frontal assault? I'm going to take my Zeus. My Zeus is kind of a powerful unit that's on loan to me from the core army. I'm not really sure what on loan means, given that the whole storyline kind of sets up that we are kind of the last resistance against the core. I feel like, you know, if you're the last resistance against the core, maybe your whole, you know, government should be more willing to kind of work with you here, but it's presented that way. And so yeah. So the AKs, or the peewees here, are super... Okay, there we go. Let's get in here. The problem with the peewees is they are super easy to take out, but I love their, like, rapid fire approach. So if you can get those light laser towers to target anything else, usually the peewees can get in there and wreck shit. But you gotta be able to get in there first, which is trouble. All right, so we got plenty of energy now. Although if the commander starts up again, we're gonna have trouble. Do we have any other metal deposit? Okay, so we will go ahead and take that. So the commander can come out here and build, but obviously if I've got enemies roaming this far out, I will have to be more defensive of that position. So we can take that out. We can bring our commander out here and have him build both a laser or a metal and a laser turret. So hopefully, combined with my little infantry forces here, that I'll be able to keep them in check. Only problem being that I'm in trouble. You know what? Just boom. So the D-gun is an extremely powerful weapon. It takes up a lot of energy to shoot, but it is something that only the commander has, unfortunately. So it is very much of limited utility, but it's good when you've got, you know, a small invading force to kind of push them back a little bit. I don't actually know what my current status is, to be honest. It's changed since earlier today. Like, Jose is back in the mix. We got all kinds of things going on, so I should give away some PAX tickets. I could give away some PAX tickets. I could give away like a PAX East ticket. That's not a bad idea. But that's a ways off still, right? Like, PAX isn't until the summer. I guess that's one thing. I guess I did my VidCon giveaway in like January. I should actually check back if the people I gave tickets away to actually ever showed up. I don't actually know if they did. All right, so we got problems here, right here in River City. Where are you going? I don't know where you're going. Let's take all, like, they just decided to come at me hard. They're just destroying, they're just wrecking shit up in here. Oh shit. And now I got these guys coming in. I mean, luckily the commander has a shit ton of health, so he's actually very hard to be destroyed by, you know, these little plebs, but it's definitely not the case that you want to be using your commander to defend anything. But yeah, I mean, despite my joking about alright, so let's build a radar tower out here so we can know when shit's coming in. And then, oh shit. Now is the answer, but that's besides the point. Alright. Seriously? Still coming in here? Ugh. And I got something on the frickin' spot that I wanted to build a mine. Alright, let's just... Let's see if I can rebuild my base here. My approach here was suboptimal, to say the least. I'll go ahead and build this metal collector because I think I'm kind of safe now. You can see, so if I select all of my radar detectors, you can kind of see the coverage I've got, which is pretty good. And the enemy is all kind of floating around in the back there. So hopefully I got a little bit of time to rebuild a bit. But yeah, so PAX East, I definitely had a lot of fun at last year. It was enjoyable, and I think I should probably go again, but I haven't even looked at tickets, really, so, I don't know. Alright. Alright. So build some energy out here while I still got it. Move these out of the way so that my commander can build things and get back to having this guy do some work. Anyway, yeah, so PAX East as a tickets is a thing that I can do. I could certainly do. In the meantime, I need to think of something else, though. So even if they were on sale today, the other problem with PAX East tickets is that they tend to sell out like instantly. I feel like I could be wrong, but that has been my experience. Is that I feel like they sell out pretty quick, like almost there. Aren't they like a lottery or something? And so that makes it harder to plan that unless I plan it before and just like buy ahead of time or whatever, which I guess I could do. I just haven't really thought about it. As you can tell, I haven't really thought about a lot of things. So, alright, so let's go ahead and do this. We got this guy building solar collectors. Okay, so we got a bunch of solar collectors going in. We got a little bit more metal coming in. Let's build some more flashes so we can get those out into the world and doing some damage for me when I need them. And I'm also going to add a radar collector or detector, whatever, and a light laser turret. So now, aren't you planning on coming to PAX East this year, Stingray, or am I misremembering? I vaguely remember you mentioning something like that, but I also realized that just because you, the best laid plans of mice and men is certainly something I'm used to and experienced with as well. A nice thing about all of these like dead things that I built previously, but also the enemy tanks and other things like that, is that they actually do generate metal, and I can use that metal to attack stuff. So hi. Yeah, absolutely, and that is definitely a thing that I am considering doing again. The only problem was, I mean, it was effective. I liked it. It was a lot of work, and I hate making those decisions. You know, picking a random name from a list in order to, you know, say, okay, you get a ticket to VidCon was way easier for me than, you know, doing something with, okay, now I have to pick out who is most worthy or who is most other thing like that. I could have just picked randomly, but there's a lot of them that were like, I want a Stream Deck, and why will a Stream Deck do anything good for you? And it's like, well, it just will. And I'm like, oh, fine. Gotcha. Yeah, and I know how hard it can be to do, like, travel away from home when you have kids, especially. It can be super tough, so. Okay, so we've got some metal here, but not really a ton yet. So let's go ahead and take a little expeditionary force here. Let's see if we can find another mine. We do have a spot right here, but these guys keep wandering in here. Like I'm pretty sure they're patrolling, and literally their patrol extends to just next to this thing. And I would think if they got that far that they would freaking shoot it, but apparently not. So more the fools them. Alright, so let's go ahead and reclaim some more metal. Yeah, so this is all just like KBots up here. Looking for another metal deposit, but not finding one. Yeah, those are just a lost cause. Like, shoot whatever you can, that's fine. Kill some thuds, great. The nice thing about the thuds is they're artillery bots, and they, if you're, you know, if the things you're attacking are moving, it can have a pretty strong... Oh, there we go. I was like, when is this ever gonna, like... You cannot just leave this thing out there forever, right? Turns out I was right. Yeah, so they're amassing, like, a whole little force over here. It's just gonna be trouble for me. Take everything and just go grab them. Hello, Angelic. Hello, hello. Yeah, so these flashes are great. They're very similar to the Pee-wees in that whole kind of weapon that they've got there, but because they're, you know, not not bots, they roll around a lot faster. And so you can see we've just kind of surrounded the entire little enemy force here and take them out, which is awesome. And now we will go ahead and pull this back out. We do have... Alright, is there any other... Oh, right, so we can come back out here. Gonna look at rebuilding this. Gonna attack these guys, whatever's out here. I love you. Good night.
Oh. Hello, everyone.
I love you too. Can you close my door?
Yep.
Alright, so now we've got two different... Alright, move out of my way. I did I was very happy to look up like key commands for like select commander and other things like that, which I did not have the first couple of times, first couple skirmishes I was doing. They definitely make a big difference in how quick things are. So things like select all, you know, units with weapons and other things like that are very handy. And I was happy to be able to know that they exist. So the select all units with weapons, mobile units with weapons, was actually a new command that didn't exist in the initial game. It was added in a DLC. Of course, this was back in 1997, and so DLCs at the time were actually not something that cost money. Yeah, so the core contingency, or were they expansion packs? I'm trying to remember if the expansion packs were actually free or if I'm just being a smartass. So the core contingency and battle tactics were 2 expansion packs that were released for this game. And I think that they were both kind of included in the base cost, but I can't remember. Oh. Alright, so we're going to take out this light laser turret, I hope. I do like that they had like 3 radar antennas built on top of this hill. Like one of them, they all had exactly the same range because they were all built in the same damn spot. But apparently one was not good enough for them. Okay, so the base is clearly like up at the top. My memory that it was on the left side was clearly false. And we're gonna need another Timmy. We're gonna need some more KBots at this, or tanks and KBots at this point, because I'm just like losing stuff like nobody's business at this point. And we're gonna need something a little bit heavier, I think. So let's go ahead and get these things going. My commander, I'm gonna go ahead and build a light laser turret out here to try and take out any light stuff that comes in. My Zeus is gonna die, which is this kind of special unit, but I've got the ability to build a lot of stuff at this point, so I'm not too worried about it. I like that these guys... oh, that's another thing this game had that a lot of other games didn't have is, like, terrain. And so the ability to kind of hide behind terrain or have an impact on terrain or other things, like terrain having an impact, I guess, was very different. Most things at the time were much more flat. And so like hiding behind units or hiding behind hills or placement of, rocket launchers or other things like that actually being meaningful and important, I guess was new in this game and did not apply in previous versions of like, RTSs that got made or other things like that. So, that's another interesting difference if you are into the differences in late 1990s RTSs. The pyros are actually a really useful unit, but alright, I'm not gonna... Alright, everything up there is dead, so let's all just gather up here. We're just gonna gather an army. And you can kind of wander around and defend stuff, but don't need to do anything other than that. And we will do 20 of these. Get him guarding. Yeah, so as I gain look at even the fire is super pretty, so Mike Yale the Gamer, how's it going? I did see the video, yes, Van Helsing. Sorry, I'm like back and forth. I'm micromanaging too much. I do like this better than sim games though, where that will be like 3 hours of my time, is I'll just be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like sit here and play the game and not pay any attention to anything that's going on for forever, so. Check out a Corvette museum. I love the 1960s Corvettes. They are lovely. Okay, Commander, you're gonna come and reclaim some of this metal. Because we need some metal. You can all just, you got it. You've all got it. You just kind of hang out there. You're Stumpy. I'm going to lose a Stumpy, but that's fine. Yeah, so by reclaiming all this metal, you can see I get a temporary kind of resource boost. I don't have any other obvious places to kind of build metal extractors at the moment. Like, obviously this is one, but it's probably taken over by the enemy, given that that's kind of in their base. So this is my way of bumping my metal. It gives me a temporary boost and not a permanent, you know, generation boost, obviously, but makes a difference for the purposes of what I need. Okay, so I'm actually surprised. Their base must be farther up than I thought. Yeah, so I don't want to go on that ridge. Or it is to the left and I was just wrong. No, there's not really enough room over there to make a base. Okay. Yep. There we go. Boom. Alright, so let's rebuild my radar here. Yeah, so you can see all of those rockets just like go around and completely miss the thing they're attacking because they move a little bit quicker. So the rockets are clearly designed to attack something a little bit slower than a pyro. Okay, so my picture that the base is over to the left, it seems like is not as crazy as I thought it was. This needs to be building more always. We can see I do have kind of a little arm of folks up here, so I can probably go ahead and kind of move into this space. These are probably individual units and not a base. So this is the thing that I don't really... So this is a case where I guess probably an expert Warcraft player might, or an excellent, an expert player of this game might actually, in this case, you know, do a lot more micromanaging, kind of build or maintain kind of separate armies, whereas I just take everything that has weapons and attack with it. So you can kind of see how that might happen. Like right here, I'm gonna lose this base, this vehicle construction place probably. No, I'm good. All right. Yeah, so you can see my light laser cannon, or these things are kind of getting caught up on the on the junk, amusingly enough. So on the wreckage. And that wreckage is acting as a deterrent for rockets and everything. Alright. Get my commander to first reclaim some more metal. Second, build another radar tower. It's silly that I keep doing the same things over and over again, and probably I could have managed this whole mission better, but... probably what that means. I mean, not that there's any shock. I'm not actually that good at this game. Anyway, so happy Monday. I hope you all had a lovely Monday. I hope you had a good weekend and did something enjoyable and or fun. I spent this weekend doing not a lot. I played a little bit of this to get used to it. I did some... what else did I do? Oh, I played a bunch of Cities Skylines, which is probably what I'm going to be playing on Friday. That was pretty fun. Nope, I don't want you to build that there. I want you to build that there. Yeah. So today is going to be Total Annihilation. Monday will be Cities Skylines. And after that, I don't have any plans for next week at this point. We will probably... I did say I was going to play... I guess there's a Doom clone based off... Or not clone, but like... whatever. Based off of the Chex Mix cereal. So maybe we'll be playing a little bit of that. Gaming Lawyer, Talons of Justice, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday, happy Monday. Nightbot is your friend. Well, Gaming Lawyer, you are my friend. And as soon as we finish the skirmish, we're gonna shock the hawk. Okay, so we got some bad news bears coming up here. We got a lot of scary looking weaponry in this Reaper, as well as some other stuff we got going on. So we're gonna have to try and get all these folks in here. Let's actually just go all in. Take out the light laser turrets. I hate freaking light laser turrets. They are just should be so easy to kill, but they are so fast firing that if you get one in there, it can just do tons of damage. I want to get this whole little army up in here. So this is probably the core of the core base that I want to destroy. If I can take these guys out, it's going to be good for me. Now, I don't actually care about the structures. Those are easy. I can come back once I've destroyed everything else. But I do want to take out as much of the actual enemies as I can. So this is a case where in the campaign mode, they pretty much are never actually building things. And I don't really understand that, because in any real battle, they would be. All right. Another thing is that your units are not actually good at pathing. So they will happily like sit someplace and just, you know, shoot at a hill forever, which is dumb. And obviously wouldn't happen in a human opponent. So overall, my appreciation of this particular AI is not very strong. Not super impressed with it, but and destroy all this, and then come back and destroy all these. I don't think you can make Nightbot do that. You could make some other kind of bot do that, I guess. I haven't tried, so... Alright. Destroy my shit? Is that what we're gonna do? Alright. So now I've got my whole little army up here. Let's go ahead and start taking out their base. And then we will make our way this way and shoot this other stuff we know about. And then I'm probably going to have to build a radar dish somewhere up here. Like a radar tower, that's what they call it. Because I don't believe that I've actually got vision on all this stuff. But... oh, shit. I'm an idiot. I forgot that I grabbed all of my units and started going in a direction, but forgot that I needed to kill this one guy who's wandering around trying to kill my metal extractors, so... oh, seriously? Take a few of these. I got a ton of stuff over here that'll be able to take out all this stuff. While you're here, you guys can go ahead and shoot this. Alright. You shoot that. Kill the thud. Where did the thud go? Chase after the thud. There we go. I think this last unit is all they have left. As soon as I destroy it, the match will be over. Bum, 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 bum. No? God damn it. Yeah, so somewhere there's like one extra unit hiding out. Ah, there it is. There might actually be a few more up there because I don't actually have vision on everything, but it's not going to be a lot. Oh. Yeah, it's these last three, like, vehicles that aren't even freaking moving. There we go. Boom! Alright. So that was not super quick. I think that took me, I don't know, what time is it now? That probably took me, like, 40 minutes. But it's alright. That's not bad. For the first 4 missions, we got through in under an hour. Yeah, so now... Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I just realized that I don't have my my gaming lawyer content queued up. I am such a bad streamer. I don't have these things already. Man, just crazy. Anyway, welcome to the stream, Gaming Lawyer, and everyone else who's here. I hope you're all having a lovely Monday evening. And yeah, I'll open all these. Yeah.
Brian Wilson, Texas Lawhawk! Brian Wilson, the Texas Lawhawk! Talons of justice! Due process! Do wheelies! It's hot out here! Brian Wilson, El Halcon de la Ley! Brian Wilson, the Texas Lawhawk!
Hey guys!
Alright, there we go. Welcome to the stream. That's Brian Wilson, the Texas Lawhawk, showing us how it's done. Alright. This is the wrong button. Let's push the button. Alright.
The core invasion of Imperion had...
Yeah, at some point I have to figure out why the sound is not synced properly when I play things in VLC.
It was then
Never figured it out.
To take the offensive, using the galactic gate against its creators. It would be the turning point of the war.
Alright, so now we need to find the gate and capture it. So this is one that I screwed up the first time I did it. So finding the galactic gate, there's a galactic gate item in the lower left corner, and the galactic gate is, I need to capture it, and of course, whoever reads the instructions they're given in, like, a mission like that, nobody does, right? It's not just me? It's not just me? Yeah, that's what I thought. And so... I, of course, was like, oh, I need to destroy everything, so I will destroy everything, and went ahead and did so with the expected result of, like, oh, you didn't capture it, you destroyed it, that's not what the task was, you fail, which was somewhat disappointing. So we'll do this, build a radar dish. There's going to be bad guys all over here, all up in this shiznit. And add these to a group. Is Jess asleep? I do not know if she's asleep. She's not around at the moment. She was not asleep when I was getting ready to stream, so. Now we'll go ahead and build the... more mine thingies, and then work on a KBot or a vehicle lab. Yeah, so now I can see where the enemies are, which is good because they're close, but not coming in at the moment. So I'm happy to just kind of hang here and defend. Her foot is decent. It's, you know, still healing, and it's going to be healing for a long time, but it's healing reasonably well. She had her stitches out last Monday, and so that is good. That's earlier than they would usually take them out, so she was healing pretty well already then, and she is working on Like, she's got a permanent cast on, which is nice because it's actually firm. And so, one, she can actually have people sign it, which she's very excited about. And so she's got, like, you know, she wrote looking for a new parkour instructor on it. And then a friend of ours wrote first in big letters, you know, like the internet. She'll probably get a boot, but it's going to be months. Like, she's going to be non-weight bearing for a long time yet. So the non-weight bearing part is really going to be a struggle. But she will probably eventually get a boot, but that'll be pretty late in recovery. Hello, Dr. Bob Gaming and Dune Zumbu, Mathros, Bonna Kelly, and Liam August. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see all of you here. Miss Anon, Matthew Alford, and more. I'm the Chris who plays games, playing retro games like this one from 1997 every Monday at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time, whatever I feel like every Friday at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. This week is going to be two kind of sim-ish things. We're doing this today, and we're going to be doing, uh-oh, we got incoming. Take him out. Take him out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and drop a light laser tower over here. And we're going to be doing City Skylines on Friday. So City Skylines is very much as far as I'm concerned, a modern rendition of SimCity. I think it's reasonably well done, and I've enjoyed playing it, so I'm going to be doing that. Hello, McGrave, McFunPants, and everybody else. Welcome. So this is Total Annihilation. Total Annihilation is a kind of well-regarded real-time strategy game from the 1990s. So it was released in 1997. So this predates StarCraft. Some special things it's got are like a unique queuing system where you can kind of request things to be done in an order. It's got... Wow, there's a lot of bad guys here. I need to get on building some tanks. Oh, shit. Kill that guy. And of course I'm out of energy. Well, at least he got destroyed. Alright. Alright, so that took out that little space there. Let's go ahead and have the commander, once he's done with that metal extractor, build a light laser tower to defend it from attacks from the east, because I can sort of see some people coming in out there. And then we will pull this guy down and have him rebuild this metal detector, extractor, whatever. Hello, Jessica! I do not have any of the DLC, Brad. Nope. I am just stock at the moment. I bought the game off the shelf and have not done anything else with it since. So I started playing it just recently, and I liked it. I've had fun with it. I've built cities up to about 15,000 people and not a whole lot more yet. I just figured out how to make roads that cross over themselves. So I was having a lot of trouble because I would build these towns and then I would have huge backups of traffic kind of getting into the town because I couldn't figure out how to build a second connection to the highway. And so I would just have this like huge line of trucks all lined up at the one entrance to my town, and I was like, well, now I don't know what to do. So it was not super effective, unfortunately. All right, this is almost done. Chris GC8. Welcome. Not enough pylons. Construct additional material. Yeah, so that was the not enough pylons is StarCraft. I know that because I watched a coworker of mine named Ivan, aka Gar, Gar in the chat is an emoji that is in his honor. So I watched a little bit of him playing, especially around, he played a little bit during Extra Life, and he's been doing some live streams on Monday nights, and I have watched some of those. So I've seen a lot of like not enough pylons, but that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge on StarCraft. So it's not a game that I've never played it. I don't know much about it, etc., etc. So, so we'll go ahead and do the same thing here. We'll build a mine, build a radar tower, build a etc. So. Yes, I mean Gar is a extremely aggressive player. So this is like, people earlier were like, micromanage the shit out of things. I'm like, I don't know how to freaking micromanage things. I'm just like, take all people with weapons, move them somewhere. I did actually figure out I can assign things to groups. So like, now this is group 1, and I can select group 1 and be like, okay, group 1, like, go attack this shit. But more often, I'm just like, you know what? If I'm going to attack things, I'm going to attack everything. Just do it. You destroyed my freaking metal extractor? Jerks. Let's get rid of you. I'm done with you. I have no more of this. There we go. What I should have done was, instead of building the metal extractor first, would have been maybe build the light laser tower first. Let's destroy this out here. Hello, Banshee Queen. Welcome to the stream. Missile Died Online. Hello, hello. Hey, I'm totally fine. If Gar wants to be part of the retro squad, it's totally cool with me. I'm not going to fight it. Oh, shit, Nuggets. Alright. I forgot that... So this is another one of those cases where I forget exactly what I'm doing. I have ships in this match. And so I want to not use those ships for fighting things on the ground. And so I need to not select the, like, shoot all things with weapons, or select all things with weapons, because it will also select ships. There is not a good, like, don't select ships option, so. Alright. Get rid of this freaking thud. There we go. So yeah, selecting all things that are, you know, have weapons that aren't ships is not a button that I have access to. Alright, let's build another one of these, because I'm going to need to build an advanced vehicle lab. The reason I need an advanced vehicle lab is because I'm going to need advanced vehicles. Specifically, I'm going to need a Triton, which is a underwater amphibious tank. So, in the meantime, I think I've got most of these metal deposits kind of extracted at the moment, so... Oh, nope, there's one. Commander! One down here. Build this, and this, and a laser radar tower. I love you too, Jess. So Tails first, within the community of retro, so Stingray Gaming, Soybomb, Snapclick Cat, and myself, we're all kind of early retro streamers on the YouTube gaming platform, and so we will oftentimes describe ourselves as the Retro Squad. There's nothing really to it. There's no like membership fee or anything else like that, but it's kind of just like a little community because we were doing a lot of early retro streaming on the platform on a regular schedule and so on and so forth. Snapclick Cat now mixes in modern games once or twice a week, as do I, as does Stingray actually. So I think we've all kind of moved away from the just retro scene, but it's still kind of a useful moniker and a nice little grouping that we had going on. So I think we still stick with it and probably will. But yeah, so that was the thing that we did. Is Gar great at both Smash and StarCraft? So Gar is well above amateur, or rather is I think high level amateur in both would be, I think, how I would describe him. I don't really know, like, I don't know Smash from Adam, really, so I can't say for sure, but that is my impression, is that, he gets into tournaments and he'll win 1 or 2 rounds, and then that's kind of it. So not an expert player, but I honestly don't know enough about Smash to know, like, are these the most difficult rounds? Are these the easiest rounds? Like, what does that actually mean? Like, it's all Greek to me. Brad knows a little bit more, because he watches some of these, like, fighting tournament things, so he might be able to give you a little bit more insight on that, but it's not something I have a lot of insight into myself. I'll go ahead and do this. And yes, Brad's favorite game is King of Fighters. I'm not sure if it's 14 or what, because I don't know nothing about nothing, but I know King of Fighters is one of Brad's favorite games. Like, he also watches, like, Street Fighter V, but I'm not sure. Alright. I feel like this is a guy who's encroaching on me, so let's get some tanks down here to take him out. Oh, it's just a KBot. That's fine. Whatever. Alright. Street Fighter V, Smash TV. What about Smash TV? I don't know. But yeah, so Gar and Milk Tree are two pretty high level. I don't know. I think of them as high level Smash players, but to me, everyone's a high level Smash player because, good God, what do I know about anything? So that might be just my bogus impression. Milk Tea. That's what I said, right? Did I say it wrong? I don't know. Did I say Milk Tree? Yeah, I meant Milk Tea. You are correct. Alright. A little bit worried that I got some encroaching powers here. Like, there's a huge wave of what I expect is like KBot infantry right here. And as I try to, like, as I bring this tank in to try and go towards it, it like runs away. Which I guess is the right thing to do if you're sitting here like microing an army. But to me, I'm just like, I don't understand how things work. Okay, so I've definitely got some kind of rocket launching something here. And it's more than one of them. Yeah, okay. So we've got like a whole army here. So let's... Hello, hello. Welcome back. Oh, I'm glad you guys can hear the... I'm glad you guys can... I'm glad that you all can hear the music. I wasn't sure. Alright, so let's go ahead and unselect these. And put these as group 1. Not sure if there was I vaguely remember adding a Comcast command, but I don't remember what happened to it. I don't know. I think that was the command as far as I'm concerned, so. Hey, if you're behind by quite a bit, there you go. You probably just caught up a little bit because I'm definitely dropped some data, so. Alright. Also, it's kind of hard to tell necessarily if you get buffering. Like, if I don't say anything for a little bit, like, you're not going to notice a whole lot. The game doesn't move that fast. Alright, so the thing about this is they've actually got missile launchers positioned on top of these sets of hills, which again gets into the line of sight issues inherent in this whole hill setup. So there's actually a ton of contour here. So if you're on top of this hill, it's actually straightforward for you to not be very reachable. A good move if you're working on a defensive position to be, of course, having the high ground. I think any military commander will tell you that, right? I don't know anything about the military, but I assume that that's what a military commander would tell you. All right. From all my vast military experience, it seems pretty legit. All right. I'm going to take these tanks, just send them up here. So those are my amphibious tanks, so I'm going to need them because I'm going to have to go across the water at the end of this. And so that is what I am kind of saving those up for. We're going to go right into the heart of whatever this is and just shoot whatever's there. Alright, so now we're doing good. We're making some progress on this little infantry invasion we got going on. Is what we wanted. Go ahead and... Commander's gonna guard this guy. We've got 14 metal coming in per second here, which is pretty decent. But we need to get some more going out. We gotta get some more building going on. Alright. Something over here. Alright, there we go. Alright, cool. So now what we've done is kind of uncovered this whole area of the map, which is going to be good because I need more metal. Not enough pylons. You don't have enough pylons for that. So now we have the ability to kind of push down into this corner a little bit more. We've cleared out basically this portion of the map, and so we still have some more map down here. I'm pretty sure they have still have a base down there that we're gonna run into, but it's okay. We do know we have at least something shooting at us. There we go. Yeah, so anytime you see these kind of like, you know, missile towers, it's a good sign that you're kind of wandering into something that's not just a you know, lone unit wandering the countryside. Alrighty, let's yes. So this little army I got built up actually doesn't seem all that bad. Seems like we're able to take out a fair amount. We've definitely lost a fair number of units, but not so many that I think I'm feeling too bad about it. Feels like we did approximately what we needed to do here. I don't know if it's going to get us all the way through to the other side, but at least it won't be a lot of cleanup at this point. And it does mean that we're probably not... oh, these pyros. Okay, first of all, let's kill that. Kill the things that can't move first. Pyros are freaking... You know, my AKs... or my Pee-wees are you know, high power units, but I don't have anything like these pyros. These flame-throwing units are definitely killer. So definitely a very impressive unit to have, but I'm pretty sure it's only core side, so. I use emulation for everything. So my basic feeling is that, so with emulation I can pretty much always do save states, and my goal as a streamer, of course, is to be entertaining, not to be, you know, the most legitimate or retro or whatever else like that. Like, my goal is to make sure that, you know, people are happy, and so being able to cheat my way to glory is definitely an important and useful feature when I'm looking at, you know, I don't want to get stuck on a particular part or anything else like that. So it's a really useful skill to have. Okay. So now, I'm pretty sure that I've cleared out... Oh, still a few more things here. Thought I had them all, but I do not. So because I have to kill all the units, I'm just trying to like finish off all the land units here while I build up my army of amphibious tanks. And so you can see I've got an army of amphibious tanks now, which is pretty cool. We'll go ahead and bring my whole kind of armada of naval vehicles down here. The gate that I need to capture is going to be in the lower left, and so that's really where I want to take all those people. And now that we have made such progress here, we'll bring the commander over and build a radar tower just to make sure we're not missing anything, which we already are, as we can see. So hopefully we'll be able to take these guys out. It gets really annoying when you get to the very end of a battle and you have this like, oh, I just need like one more. Here we go. Let's take this guy. There we go. Like, I just need one more kill in order to finish it, but I can't find the stupid thing because he's wandering all over the goddamn map. But yeah, so in the lower left corner is the galactic gate that I need to get over there and capture. Of course, these amphibious tanks are, as you might expect from amphibious tanks, not all that speedy, but I've got enough of them at this point that I think I should be able to just go ahead and take everything out. So we're going to bring these down here. You can see they've got a little kind of base down here, and that's what we're going to be going for. So we'll turn up the speed and so on and so forth. Hello, a little bit of gaming. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, for the purposes of playing, like, I definitely I understand people who will do the original. I understand people who do that. Like, I have absolutely no qualms. But for me personally, like, it just doesn't make sense as a streamer to go with you know, the real thing. It makes much more sense to go with makes much more sense to go with an approach that lets me, you know, have that backup option of save states or whatever else that I might need. So the only problem with these amphibious tanks is that, like, if you tell them to attack something, they don't realize that they need to be out of the water to shoot. And so they will literally, like, sit on the shore of the water, like, trying to shoot at something and not hitting it over and over again, which is really dumb. All right, so the gat gun is kind of taking me out, so let's go ahead and bring them down here. See if we can get them all to come up on the shore. There we go. So that heavy laser tower is definitely a doozy. And then we'll have him walk over here, which is where the galactic gate is, so. Amphibious in this case means able to travel on both water and land, rather than alright, so capture. This takes forever. So in other cases, I know amphibious means, like, I mean, it's not a hovercraft, it's an amphibious tank, so I don't know. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that that's it. As soon as I finish my capture, yeah, so you can see I've got pretty good radar coverage on everything. I see no enemy units, and my commander is sitting here capturing the galactic gate, so we should be all set. Anyway, thank you very much, Raiders, for coming in with the raid. Again, this is Total Annihilation in 1997. No? Fine. What am I missing? Oh, there's probably something that I missed in this lower right corner. Like a mine or something else like that. Oh yeah, there were raiders. There was Missiledine Online decided to give us a raid. Thank you very much for that. Okay, yeah. It's the KBot lab that I walked by earlier. And again, if there was a real enemy player behind this, they would be building like tanks and other stuff like that to come out and take me out, but nope. Alright. Yes, that is it, Org Chaos, you got it. Well, so we're at war because we have two sides that have Is it? Yes. All right, cool. So the core and the arm have two fundamentally different approaches to how they live life. So the core are basically Skynet. The core are built of basically like AI that incorporates some neural tissue but is not actually humans, whereas the arm like side is much more of like we are implanting like human brains, I don't entirely know, into these units, and so they basically like two sides of the same people that took divergent technological evolution paths and strongly disagree on their approaches, obviously. So the core were a much more metal based race. They took over metal worlds, they did all this other stuff, whereas the arm were kind of more on these green worlds and water and everything else like that, and at some point, like, they've been at war for a long time. The Galactic War has been going on a long time, and in this particular case, what's happened is that the core has come to the ARM homeworld, and so you can see here, this says the gate to Thalassean. The gate that I've just captured is a gate from, that they created a gate to the ARM homeworld and have been attacking me from there. So, Chris GC8, I'm happy to have a I am happy to have a serious question. And I did not know that, Brad. Yeah, it's basically RoboCop versus Terminator, maybe?
Following through the core gate, the ARM commander made a bold counterattack on the core outpost from which the invasion of Imperion had been launched. Thalassean, a windy planet largely covered by water, had been captured by the core quite recently. Core forces there were unprepared for the sudden appearance of an ARM commander in their midst.
Yeah, so core has taken over this planet, and I need to reclaim it. And we can see that I kind of started out in a pretty bad spot, but we will capture there. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. No, 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 I won't do that. I would do anything for love, anything you've been dreaming of, but I just won't do that. I have no idea. Oh, shit. Oh, you said this was a windy planet. When you said it was a windy planet, I thought you meant, like, wind generators would be effective. This planet is not very windy. Like, I get 20 energy from a freaking solar collector, but you're gonna sit here and tell me this is a windy planet? Screw you, narrator guy. I won't lie to you, and that's a fact. No, no. Is it just lying? Oh, I guess now they're doing 23, but still, this is the problem with building wind generators. Like, solar generators are fixed energy all the time, and I guess it's never nighttime in this game. But everything else is very much like, you know, it's highly variable. Alright. This is gonna be, that's not a good idea. Go ahead and build my shipyard here. Get working on that. I think it's just lying, like in general, but I'm not sure. All right, So I got 3 little metal extractors. Guard this for a little bit so we can get some repairs done on it. I mean, I don't offer explanations for how things work. I'm just pointing out that my solar collectors never run out of energy, really. So yeah, let's go ahead and... Okay. So we build 1 of these, 5 of these, get this guy out here, and have him build some... Oh, shit. There's bad guys on the other side of that planet, or that beach. So good to know. We'll go ahead and build a torpedo launcher up here and have... I like that this ship is like, I can't get him from anywhere, so I'm just gonna swim, like, I'm gonna drive around this ocean in circles until I can get the one angle on him that works. I have never seen Lost in Translation, so I can offer no advice on that particular point. That's right. Swim around the entire freaking island because you can't figure out how to shoot something. GG. Alright. Let's go ahead and place a light laser tower out there. I'm just going to have this commander run over here and degun this guy. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and build another light laser tower here. Oops. Oh, of course now we're out of energy. Is this anywhere close? No. I can finish up this light laser tower before my construction ship dies. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted to have happen. Boom. Alright. I can reclaim that. And now I've got a Crusader. Crusaders are good. Go ahead and build a sonar station so I can know what's coming at me in the future. I don't remember if there's any other metal on this little planet. You can repair units, yeah. You have to, like, because my only things, like, the construction ship can repair a construction ship. The commander can repair anything. Anything that can build things can repair. But because most of those units are so slow moving, it's oftentimes annoying to try and repair. Aha! Metal. So I oftentimes don't end up doing it, even though I could. I'm going to build... Have a good night, Celso Louise! Spider-Man Homecoming. Never seen it, never heard of it. I'm terrible at pretty much all pop culture. Alright, what do we got here? Anyway, Tails first, I appreciate you coming by. I feel like I don't see you very often anymore. I haven't been watching as many live streams at work lately. I've found that, you know, as much as I like to tell myself that watching live streams didn't actually distract me from work, it's a total lie. So I pretty much only watch Brad. So I feel like some people that I used to see all the time, I miss a lot these days. Alright. We are still way too low on metal when this construction ship is working. Alright, let's finish up this torpedo launcher, and then I'm probably going to try and make that it for building things like that. We'll build another solar collector kind of on the inside here. One thing that I did learn in a previous playthrough was that the enemies have no problems like bringing crusaders on the far side of my island and shooting things, so kind of bad news bears for me. Alright, you're gonna come back here and guard this. Let's see if there's any other metal that we're missing. Yeah, see, this is the problem. I don't even know what's hitting that. Oh, there it is. They've got something over here which is shooting at me. And frankly is doing a fair amount of damage to me, which is bad. My commander dies, one, even in a game where that isn't insta-death, it does a ton of damage. He blows up in a huge, huge way. And then two, in this case, it actually just loses the scenario. So we can get in here and get that. So the only thing about wind generators is they are actually much, much quicker to build. So so they require 500 less energy, or 100 less metal and 200 less energy. So if you're resource short, which obviously on this tiny tidal planet I am, it can be helpful to go with the wind generators, because even if they give you slightly less energy, they can be built much more quickly, especially the metal. As you can see, metal's just a constant struggle on a planet like this. So having enemy ships actually come in and try and attack things is actually very helpful in that sense, but doesn't help so much when they don't. All right. Yeah, so here we've got, hopefully we will have some metal to reclaim after this. Yeah, so I can come out here, reclaim this metal, and that's going to give me 710. And then 900, actually, we'll just do the 903. So we get a fair amount of metal out of that, which will keep us building for a little while without having to short things. So, yeah, you can, Stingray. That's absolutely what you do. This is from 1997, Leif. So I love the units. I love the maps. I love the music. It's actually 97. The game that I picked on YouTube Gaming is like Total Annihilation, I don't know, something else that's not the original. And so that was like an expansion or something like that. So, and then we can actually repair that. We got a bunch of crusaders here. Build one more construction ship, because I need to go out and build sonar so I can actually find these guys. Can he actually build a sonar? Oh, he can. Okay. I'm going to have you repair, and then come out here and build a sonar station. Yeah, so I was like amused and annoyed that YouTube Gaming didn't appear to actually have this game. Yeah, so you can see here, this is like he's repairing that ship, and he's been repairing it for, you know, a while now. Like, that's how quickly the repair moves up. So, especially for these more kind of complex units, like building another one is faster than repairing the one you've got sometimes if it's taken significant damage. I don't know if that's literally true, but it certainly feels that way. So I don't know if I want to come in and attack this. Uh-oh. Shit. Alright. No, 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 no. Don't you be going and getting in the middle of that. Ah, they totally destroyed my wind generators again. Alright, well, so now I've got a lot of metal. So I can come in here. Well, I don't actually even need it at the moment because I actually recovered enough, so that's good. Let's go ahead and build a couple of solar collectors on the island here. I'm going to go ahead and build a sonar unit further out. So this will give me a little bit more warning, because right now my sonar unit does not go very far. It'll give me a little bit more warning than I need. Okay. Energy is doing okay. Got a nice little collection of ships here. Yeah, so I can see there's some new units coming in from the south. Let's go get them. Oh yeah, those names in the bottom of the stream are sponsors and patrons of the Chris Plays Games channel. So that's all the folks who have helped support the channel. As I was talking about earlier, of course, support for this channel is intended to be something where, you know, I love the help I get. I love everything and everyone who does try and help out. But mostly I just try and use it as a way to give back. You know, it's how I ran the VidCon giveaway. I was thinking about doing like a PAX East giveaway and other things like that. So to try and give back to the community, you know, to mix it up a bit. I love all the support that I've been able to get. And, you know, I want to be able to give back to the lovely people who support me. What is that? Oh, there. There we go. That's annoying. Alright. Yes, I do. Sorry, I know I'm being not my usual talkative self. I did feel like I was really talkative earlier though. So, you know, I feel like I've earned a little bit. But yeah, so it is the folks who support the channel. I try and support people back by supporting other creators and other people who help out. And I did my VidCon ticket giveaways. I've done equipment giveaways. I need to do something else soon. I haven't for a while. I've just kind of, like, since sponsors came out, I really haven't. It's also people who have access to the Patreon/supporter only Discord channel, which I use to talk about things like upcoming stream topics or share my links to other content that I don't always publish. Oh shit, we got like a rocket ship dropping shit in here. I'm gonna go take some people out, is what I need to do. I don't think this is gonna work really well for me. Oh. Do whatever that thing is. Yeah, there it is. Boom. Alright. I'm gonna build sonar units around the entire island since it seems like I can't find anything any other way. Alright, so my energy needs are good. My metal is not great, but decent. So I'll have the commander build one more solar unit here, and then go and reclaim this ship. So my goal at this point is just to keep my Crusaders pumping out. I've got, I don't know, a few of them here. And my goal is just to make sure that I'm never out of those. I can see all the way to the east of me, which is good. That's going to help me make sure I don't get ambushed from that direction. But of course, I can still kind of lose out to the south here. Oh fuck. Yeah, so this map is clearly designed with the intent of like you should be gaining metal by, you know, taking apart ships. The enemy has a bunch of metal. You should be using that to find things, and that's something that is different from a typical skirmish. You don't usually use, you know, the enemy's ships as your fuel. Not that you shouldn't, but like just the reclaiming process is relatively slow compared to mining or whatever else like that. So that's why it's a micro skill that I don't have a whole lot of. It's not something you practice a whole lot of in other types of matches. So, all right. Yeah. Yeah, I think as I was pointing out earlier, I think my name is actually in there twice, which is kind of embarrassing. I literally wrote a script to dump all the names out, and didn't actually think about that before I put that out there. The reason I'm in there the first time is because I wanted to get another level of custom emoji. The reason I'm in there the second time is actually because I was testing a bug from YouTube side. So, all right, let's go ahead and drop a sonar station here. There's my... Alright. I got 5 Crusaders. Oh, I got 6 Crusaders and 2 Skeeters. So let's go ahead and just go to this lower left corner and see if we find anything. Alright, my metal seems like it's pretty much in a good shape. I've created something on all the little spots on the island. I got a couple of torpedo launchers. Got a bunch of Crusaders cruising out here. So the key about this is that my goal here is to kill all of the core forces on the planet, but I have no idea where they are. There's basically one island in the middle of the map, and everything else is water. So I've looked all the way to the east. I've built something down there. I've got coverage in this kind of lower right section, so presumably if there's anything out there, I would see it. But there's a ship right here, right? So there's like 2 ships. Feels like there's like 2 ships in every spot. Like north, south, east, and west. I killed some to the east. So I guess what's going to happen is that up here there's going to be some ships. So let's go ahead and just see if we can take these out. Is there going to be a rant tonight? Oh shit! It's 11 o'clock. Give me that CPG rant emoji for you sponsors, and we're going to see if we can finish up this match real quick, and then go straight into the CPG rant. There we go. All right. Well, I think I found where the rest of their base is, so that's useful. But, unfortunately... Oh shit. I thought I was like, oh, I'll just get that one more. It turns out I was not just gonna get that one more. Yeah, so of course, emoji come to the sponsors of the channel as well. So in addition to knowing that you're helping out other creators, in addition to access to the Discord only emoji, where you can learn about my plans for future streams, as well as access to all of the CPG rants before they go live that I get a chance to record and publish, as well as other mini VODs and things like that, you get access to those super cool custom emojis here in the YouTube gaming channel that you might want to use. So, you know, we got it all here. All the special things. But for tonight, because I don't think I'm going to finish this in the next 2 minutes here, we are going to take a pause in this game, and we will go... Let me see. I got 2 Crusaders. I think we're going to try and finish this. The rant's going to be a little bit late, but we're going to try and finish this off. I think I got, like... Oh, man, there's a lot of those ships. Alright. See if we can go in with... well, some of them I already did a bunch of damage to, though. I do know that, right? Can I, like, build a torpedo launcher close enough to actually shoot these things? Probably not. Oh. Nope. Unsurprisingly, that did not work. Alright, we're gonna wait for this last Crusader, and we're gonna go in with 4 and see how it goes. Oh no! I used up all our metal trying to build this torpedo launcher, which I shouldn't do. Let's just reclaim some metal now. Can't build ships, so you got no metal. Alright, we got 4. Let's do it. We're going to take out whatever we can take out with 4 ships. Here they come. See how it goes. Yes! A torpedo launcher did actually help. Yeah, so this is something that it's another one of those, like, a human would never do this. He would never allow, he would never just have his ship sit there and not, like, maneuver or do anything else. So, okay, here's the trick. We got our commander helping out here. So we've got the commander who's repairing the Crusader as much as he can. Oh no, not enough. Not enough. Okay, we did at least kill the, Alright, what do we got now? Nothing? What? Hold on, let me build another sonar station here. I think I lost my other one. Aha! Last ship. Two on one. Yes! Do it! Dun dun dun! Alright. So we have taken on, we established a beachhead on Thalassean. Alright, so that is it for right now. What we're going to do is go into the CPG rants of the evening. The CPG rants of the evening is where I give you a little piece of my mind on something in particular. Tonight's is going to be about content programming on YouTube. It's a bit wandery and rambly, but that's okay. So sit back and relax and learn a little bit from your good friend CPG. Your content programming strategy is something that you can evolve and learn from and change every time you create, something that you can look to and explore and experiment with, something that you don't have to be tied to. I'm the Chris who plays games, and this is your CPG rant of the evening. As I've looked around the internet, one of the things that I found is that many people are tied to a specific type of content creation even when it no longer works for them or never worked for them in the first place. For some creators, they will be better at certain types of content than others. They will be better able to get reception and response from certain types of content than others. And being able to switch that up and learn from your changes and learn from experiments and do things with it is really a good idea. Now, oftentimes people just think of this as like, oh, do I do top 10 lists, or do I do gameplay, or do I do other things like that? But there are a lot of things that you can do that fall into your content programming strategy. One of them is live. Recently, I found someone who tried to say, like, you know, as advice to a creator, well, it feels like, you know, you're not doing really well. Maybe you should consider adding live to your, you know, your content. And I had to say, wait. Like, why is live special here? Like, live does have some good components. If you are an excellent orator or really entertaining or really looking to connect with people, then live can be a really useful tool to add to your repertoire of tools in content creation for your channel. But the reality is that live is just another format of content programming. It's another type of content that you can include in your channel strategy. It is not some end-all be-all. It's not a magic bullet. It's not going to be able to rebuild a dying community. Sure, the first live stream you do is going to get a lot of uptake, especially if you've never done anything live before. Q&A and other things like that can be very helpful for a community that has never had a strong interaction with its creator. But the reality is that live content is a strategy and a style that requires a certain type of look and whatever. And some people are not going to be very good at live. And while live can be a great way to announce something or do something special, adding it as a regular occurrence to your content programming strategy without really thinking about what that means or why live would be good for you is no different than adding top 10 lists if your channel isn't about top 10 lists, or adding how-tos if your channel isn't about how-tos, or adding anything else like that, because it's a different type of content programming. Now, you should never be scared to add new content programming to your channel. You should be willing and open to explore and expand and consider different ways to grow your community and your content. It would be never be the case that I would have learned that I am actually much more well-suited to the help style content had I not done some of it. I've now done content that tries to be hub content, where I go from my personality, like the CPG rants. I've now done help content, like my family tracker and default tutorials. I've done hero content. sort of, in the form of my, you know, video, like 1-year anniversary of YouTube gaming, where I led up to it and made it a big tentpole event. I've done, you know, Hawk vs. Drone with a hero piece that was, you know, a viral video or other things like that. I've done these different types of content, and all of them are different niches, and I've seen that for me, live programming on video gameplay is not a way to successfully grow a much larger community. I have a community, which is lovely, but it's not going to get me 100,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers, or really on its own, without the raids from the lovely community that I've built socially, even 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to be very upfront and honest here. The reason that I have the community that I do is that I have been lucky enough to be supported by a much broader community of streamers and creators that I talk to socially, etc., etc. On my own, I just don't have the ability to retain that community. I can build a community of 50 to 100 people with 1,000 subscribers. Like, that's really what we're looking at. And so, for me, the most successful way for me to grow new content, given my successes, given my experiments, given what I know, would be to create not hub content that is based around my personality, not hero content where I'm building up to these great big grand pieces, but instead to create help content. Help content is the type of content that I should be, you know, creating if I want to be maximizing my success, given my personality and profile and everything else like this. Not top 10 lists, not viral clips, not anything else like that. That's where I would be best suited. And I would never know that had I not experimented, had I not done all these things. But you can't just throw live in the mix and think it's going to just like boost all of these other things. Live is a different type of content programming strategy, and you should consider that. And so when you're looking around and saying, man, my live streams don't really do well, or when you're looking around and saying, maybe I want to keep growing my channel and I've hit a wall, you should explore other things you can do. And in addition, of course, if you are already doing live, you should also look at, is there something else that I can do in not creating live, whether it's clips or highlights or anything else like that, whether I can add things into this community. If you are a hub creator who is able to draw large audiences, if you are a hub creator who's been able to bring back hundreds or thousands of people from week to week or day to day, maybe that's a sign that you should build on that, that you should have, you know, a daily vlog or a weekly vlog or a weekly wrap-up or roundup or other things like that to work off of your personality quirks or work off of anything else like that. But if what you're doing is primarily creating content which is short, you know, comedy clips, if what you're doing primarily is creating content that fits into some of these other categories, if you're doing content that is animation related or is whatever else like that, then doing it live is not going to achieve the same goal. It's a different content strategy. And in the same way, if you were to consider, should I do a top 10 list, or should I do a how-to, or should I do a tutorial, or should I do a walkthrough, or should I do, you know, whatever, you should do the same thing with live. You know, should I do video gameplay? Should I do video gameplay that's live? Should I do video gameplay that's edited? Should I do, you know, story-based gameplay or anything else like that? What should I do? Is a question that you should and have to ask yourself. And live is a component of it, but it's not like just a channel booster. It's not just a thing you toss on the side. Or it's not even just a thing you build your channel around, because your channel has to be built around something else. Your channel has to be built around some idea, some crucial point. And just because you've done something before, and just because you've done something in a particular way, doesn't mean that that's the only way you should do it. It does not mean that that's the only way that you should interact, because it's possible that there's another thing out there that is 10 times as successful for you. It is possible there's another thing out there that is 10 times as likely to succeed. It is possible there's another thing out there that is going to push you further than you are, and you don't know it yet because you haven't tried it. And that doesn't mean go around and experiment with 10 things at a time. It means once a month, try something different and see how the community reacts, and see if you can pick up something that you're good at. And yes, you're not going to be able to figure out anything from one video or one stream or one anything else like that, but it's a good way to explore the boundaries of your content creation and see if there's anything else out there that you can work with. Because it's possible, like I've found, that what you're actually good at doing isn't actually related to what you're currently doing. My best performing videos have nothing to do with me as a person. Nothing. My personality, my style, my content creation are not good for me. They're good for other things. They're good for content that allows you to get out there and see something. They're good for content that allows you to get out there and be exposed, exposing new information. That's what I'm good at. And you might be good at something too. And this doesn't mean that you have to change everything. And it doesn't even mean you should listen to me. But you should keep that in mind, that your content programming strategy can change over time and be more successful as a result. And live is a component of that on both sides. You can look at VOD and live as components of everything you do and figure out, can I do this live? And can I do this non-live? And should I do either? Don't be trapped into your current content programming strategy, but don't think that you can just change it up magically overnight either. I'm the Chris who plays games. This is your CPG rant of the evening. And we're back. I think. Maybe. Maybe we'll turn on the game music and be more back. Alright, looks good. Everybody here? Everybody happy? I didn't think so. Alright, I'm actually gonna... So I actually, like, wrote notes. I just realized. I was like, man, I don't have anything to talk about. And I'm like, aha! But I prepared for this scenario. I wrote notes. Yeah, Stingray, I do think the personality plays in the help videos thing, but I do think that I always had this dream that, like, CPG rants, like, people be like, oh, I love CPG rants, they're so blah blah blah, it turns out that that's not exactly how it's worked out. Okay, defend Larab Harbor, preserve the Moho mine there, destroy all core units. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I have the commander here. So there's like a mine up here I have to defend. I think a cat is yelling at me. Maybe not. Alright, so let's go ahead and build a mine. Oh, I'm going to slow this game down because I think there's going to be some stuff coming in early on. Alright, so I got a missile ship. Let's go ahead and get building a construction ship. I want to defend against air raids here, so we'll go ahead and drop some more light laser turrets just in case anyone else comes in. Yeah, so there's that bombing run I expected. Alright, we're good still though. Then after we're done building that light laser turret. Okay, so at least my mine is defended. It's not a really good start, but that's fine. We'll build another vehicle lab. Yeah, alright, we got him. We got him. Fine. We can't build planes, unfortunately. I wish I could build planes, but... Alright, so I got ships patrolling down here, which is good for what we need to get that for. It doesn't look like we have any other mine things. Hello, Chocolate Moose Gaming. I can try and answer questions, but I might not be able to answer. Alright, let's build an advanced shipyard, because I like the sound of that. Yeah, so you can pick, actually, not even just 2 points. So, like, I can do, like, patrol here, 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 and then it's going to go in, like, a weird triangle thing. So these are all kind of set to patrol back and forth along the front down here at the moment. So AdSense doesn't report any revenue until AdSense doesn't report any revenue to... Sorry, YouTube doesn't report any AdSense revenue to AdSense until the 15th of the following calendar month. So whatever you made in October will be paid into your AdSense account on November 15th. And then if you're over $100, you will get paid a check on November 20th-ish. So if you only have 345, you're probably not getting a check unless you made more than, you know, $130 in AdSense revenue, which you probably didn't. And there's not much you can do about that. Okay. I'm gonna... Ugh, so much metal. I don't know if I want to recover all that at once. Alright, let's get the commander out here. Have him recover that. Yeah, so these skeeters are not super useful on their own. But if you get a lot of them in one place, they can actually be somewhat useful because they will just, like, shoot the crap out of them. I mean, they're like little mobile light laser turrets. So, okay, let's go ahead and click here and then have them patrol across here. That's going to be my whole kind of mobile fleet. Got a commander here who's going to help me out with my metal situation a little bit. We got mobile missile launchers, which we want here. Hello, Red Ranger. Long time no see. Yeah, if you just started, yes, your Super Chat money goes into your AdSense account. That is how Super Chat money goes. Alright, so what are we looking for? We're looking for all the core units here. And I have no idea where they are. Like, this is... I didn't beat this mission in my previous... Like, my playthrough that I did before... before the stream. So... This is the part where I really have no idea what's going on. Okay, we found at least one ship. Oh. Yeah, so unfortunately going up with the skeeters going up against this guy... Not so good. They die in about 1 or 2 hits, so... Well, I don't think I earned your sub. Subscribing to me because I know answers to things about YouTube, while all well and good, is not really earning your sub so much as it is, not. Alright, I'm gonna bring all these people back here because they can't actually do anything. I shouldn't have brought them out in the first place. Let's go ahead and... Oh, thanks very much for subscribing. I appreciate it. But yeah, I would love to earn subs more based on, like, hey, you create cool content, rather than, like... Alright, for the hat, I'll give you the hat. That's okay. Subscribing for the hat is at least about me, and not about you. And that's not... I mean, I don't mean to be, like, super bitchy, but... It does kind of feel frustrating when people are like, oh yeah, you earned my sub because, you know, you gave me information that I didn't know how to look up. Well, Brad, I'm glad that you decided to love me, because we all know that I need your love. Oh, shit. Good. Don't do that. I was trying to do that. There we go. Alright. So I think I'm just going to have the commander come out here and guard the shipyard. And then I'm going to have the construction ship. Oh man, that's a lot of... Well, the metal's actually not going to be that bad. A lot of energy. Okay, yeah, so I got to get some more energy production in here. Nope. Do that now. But yeah, I mean, I love the fact that we've built our own little community. All the people I get to see on Mondays and Fridays and see all the cool things and talk to people. It makes me so happy. You know, especially tonight, I started off the stream and I was like super energetic. You cannot make solar panels in the water. You can make tidal generators. So this is another one of those, like, I don't really think about it because I don't usually do it. It looks like it takes about the same amount of like metal and energy as a solar panel. I don't know how much energy it actually generates, so I'm really not a big water units type of person. Usually I play on maps that don't have a lot of water in them, so for me that's not something that I think about a lot. But this looks like that generates 42, which is actually better than the that's actually significantly better than the solar panels. That's about twice as much energy as the solar panels, so definitely a good call there. Did not think about it, but it was a good call. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Now we can get the commander. Yeah, we got enough energy production going on here. Uh-oh. Shit. Crap. Alright. This Millennium seems like it's a powerful tool in the fight against invaders, so hopefully that's gonna work out for me. Get out there. Slow, but that's okay. Just like all of the, I mean, I don't know, maybe the animations aren't nearly as impressive as they seem to me, but overall my feeling is just that, like, given that this is, I don't know, maybe 1997, it wasn't as long ago as I think it was, but this is like Crash Bandicoot era, and I just feel like the quality of, like, you know, animations and a lot of the other things that are in this game, given the era that it was created in, is just really nice. Alright. So the Millennium is basically completely untouched. Let's go out here and build this. We'll get another one of those building because I feel like we may need it. Actually, first what we're gonna do is reclaim some wreckage here to get ourselves more metal. Come out here and have this Crusader act as a guard for my Millennium, so he'll be able to move around and grab stuff, hopefully. So Chocolate Mousse Gaming, this is a game I purchased off of Steam. I'm not using an emulator for this because this is just a PC game. But you can buy it on Steam for $5. Includes both of the expansion packs. And there's a ton of fun in it. You know, I think that this is definitely... I'm going to invest 4 hours in it tonight. And I have definitely played, you know, less for 4-hour games before. Alright. Shit. I gotta get the commander up here. Shit, let's slow this game down. I gotta get up here and build another. Well, let's repair. Oh shit! Incoming tank! That's bad news. Also, a whole bunch of other stuff. Also bad news. Damn it. I may actually lose and have to restart. Alright. So, I have a slight problem in that the underwater tanks cannot be attacked by anything I've currently got moving except for this Crusader. Do I have any other Crusaders? Nope, that's the only one I've got. On the plus side, my little army of killbots here can actually take them out, which is good, but was not exactly what I was expecting. Let's take care of Tails first. But yeah, so I'm not using an emulator. The game is available on Steam. You can buy it for $5. It originally dates to 1997 and was a game on the PC. And now is a game on the not PC. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Saw that coming. But yeah, so there's a lot of things about the whole oh shit. All of my units have blocked Commander in. Alright. Yeah. My overall undersea gameplay is pretty poor. Having not had a lot of experience with that particular aspect of things. And I guess in this case, one thing I was not really aware of or thinking of is that I needed to have more torpedo launchers. I can build submarines, but they're really expensive. And I fear that they're just going to get killed the same way as everything else is getting killed at the moment. Like, I feel like what's actually going to happen here is that I have screwed myself. I have left myself with no defenses against an attack by a submarine and no ability to get those defenses because I'm not prepared for attack by submarine, which is pretty shitty and dumb. It's not going to cause me to lose, but it's not going to do me any favors either. So I can build underwater tanks. Oh, can I degun him from here? Nope. I'm trying to think if there's anything I can build. There's nothing. Like, I can, like, it's like a standoff. Like, alright, I'm just gonna reclaim this shit while I got it. My Moho mine is still in good shape. I've got a whole bunch of things up here. I'm building some little tanks here. Oh, here we go. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna... Oh no, I reclaimed that metal. Let's just reclaim some more metal. So if I can keep this guy distracted attempting to attack the commander that he can't possibly attack. Ooh. Something killed my Millennium, and that Millennium is a strong ship. What is killing it? Okay, well, at least I know where their base is. I can't do... Oh, crap. I don't know what happened. Alright, well, whatever. Okay, so now I know. Build more defenses in my harbor. No problem. Can do. I'm gonna go ahead and build a submarine. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna build a construction ship first, because that's the right thing to do. And then I'm going to build a couple more things here. That's normal speed. Take care, Stingray. I appreciate it. I do play emulators for most of the things I play, so this is kind of unusual because I'm doing something that isn't an emulated game. It comes from the fact that I am playing something actually modern. Well, not modern, but something PC-based. So, All right. This is not running on DOSBox. No, I just picked this up, like literally I just bought it off Steam. So I didn't have to do anything in particular. Oh shit. Where's that gonna go? Nowhere, maybe. Right. What did I learn last time? I learned build up your sea defenses. No. Also learned tidal generators generate a lot of energy, so use them. Is it next week or the week after? I guess it's next week. Yep. I clearly didn't realize either. I knew it was coming up soon, I just didn't know when. I'm not going to carve a turkey. We are probably just going to stay at home. Given Jess's foot, we're not really in the state to be doing a lot of extraneous activity in general, so. Alright. Now we've got a submarine. The submarine will be better than not having a submarine. Alright, so now I've got 2 torpedo launchers. I got enough anti-aircraft around my Moho mine to probably take out any aircraft that come in. Is this guy helping out here? Yeah, there's no way he should be doing that. There's just too much going on. Do I have any other ships to reclaim? We can reclaim this at least. But yeah, so no turkey, no duck, no anything else. We're probably just going to stay at home, order Chinese food. We've done that a bunch of times, but at least this time I've got an excuse. You know, oftentimes I do that when I'm just like, I don't feel like going out. But this time I have an excuse. So that's nice. So I guess the whole internet is freaking out over loot boxes today. So I guess the new Star Wars Battlefront game implemented charging you money for like characters that were included in earlier versions of the game, and people are a little bit upset about that, which I can understand, but as usual, people kind of freak out a lot over things. So it is now, I think, the most downvoted comment in Reddit history, talking about loot crates or something along those lines. And basically, I think the question is like, well, in the first game, you know, you did X, like in the second game, you did Y, and this is like a really common fuck up. Or not maybe fuck up, but like problem is the problem of kind of loss aversion of the perception of, hey, we used to have this and now we don't, and you're taking it away from us. You know, what's the dealio? I do feel bad for people who feel that way. I just don't know, you know, like they need to make money, right? I don't know. Yeah, death threats to game devs and like this whole, like, it's just a whole set of terrible behaviors. Oh no! The missile ship failed to shoot where it needed to be. Alright. Well, at least I've got more to reclaim now. Let's get out there and suck up some metal. I mean, so to me, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like Stockholm syndrome-y. But I look at that and I'm like 80 hours of content to grab a specific like high-level character doesn't seem that unreasonable to me. You know, Jen was here mentioning earlier the like Wrath of the Lich King fight, and I absolutely would have, you know, like people spend hundreds of hours grinding for that one piece of unique equipment. Yeah, and that is also the case. That is clearly not the developers who are making the loot box decisions. Like that's just silly. And I mean the whole situation was, I think, really ridiculous. But some of the aspects of it is like you're talking to the wrong person. You're not being. I don't know. I wish that people were less stupid. I know that's a stupid comment to make, but it's so frustrating. Alright. Hopefully, is that gonna let me... This might let me finish up my advanced shipyard. And then I'm gonna build another sonar unit out here. Jose, I'll upload the rant to the mini VODs playlist or later tonight. Alright, I don't care about missile ships. I do love that Millennium. If it's not just gamers, right? Like, YouTube content creators have some of the same icky properties, don't they? Or am I just being... Am I giving YouTube too much credit and other people too little credit? I don't know. Uh-oh. This looks like trouble. Yep. Trouble, trouble, trouble. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's hard for me to say. No, because I see it even among the non-gaming like YouTube content creation space. There's a broad non-gaming creator space that has a lot of the same flaws. Like I don't actually think it's unique to gaming in that sense, because I see it from like beauty vloggers, and I see it from other people as well. I think it's somehow there's a sense of entitlement coming with something, and I don't know what it is, that just makes people feel like, oh, it's okay to be a terrible human being, and it's really annoying. I don't want you to be a terrible human being. It sucks. Alright. So, I don't know what to do to get more metal. I mean, I guess I can just build tidal generators times 1,000,000. Get some more enemies coming in now. And then use it to, shit, that's a lot of people. Let's get you all up here behind my torpedo shooters. Shit. That's bad news. Yeah, so I think in this case the problem was I didn't actually bait enough of them into coming in and attacking me quickly enough. And so I didn't have any metal for a long time. What? Oh, is he getting shot with the missiles? Okay. Well, let's get him out of there. Get him underwater, I guess, actually. Work fine. Take care, Red Ranger! Have a good night. I don't know why you're attacking that, but okay. I'm not gonna argue. I'm gonna build one of these. Maybe the problem is I'm trying to build it a millennium when really I shouldn't. Are those giant portals? So these things are not portals. They are construction facilities. They're basically the facilities that I use to build more ships. They're going to send a whole fleet of undersea tanks at me, and I don't have a lot to fight them with at the moment. Oh, okay. I was kind of confused as to why they were, like, why they were taking out my vehicle plant, but I just realized that my vehicle plant is a very effective means of building enemies that can take out things on land, so their tanks would be a really easy target for my like for a bunch of flashes because they're very slow moving. So that's basically just their way of saying, like, we're coming in now, we're gonna take out your shit and it's gonna be bad for you. So the question is, do the defenses I have suffice to take out their tanks? Question to which I do not know the answer. Seems like maybe the answer is yes. Damn it! He got my commander. Shit. Yes, they're basically 3D printers. They're 3D printers that use nano machines rather than plastic, but same idea. So nanobots used to, let's slow this down. Okay, I'm gonna build a construction ship. So this is part of the game where it gets kind of boring, where I'm like, alright, I don't know what to do now. Alright, let's go ahead and bring this in. We're gonna move this guy over here for when we get the flying things that come in. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna have you come over here. Build a vehicle construction plant. Yeah, so I think this is one of the differences that I had. Yeah, so they're going to come in and try and blow up my anti-aircraft stuff. I'm going to do all this other stuff. I'm going to build 5 Samsons. I'm going to guard the Moho for the time being. Oh, where's... You guys are all just over here and just completely let this float by? Fine. Alright, so that actually worked out better, I think, because I've got more... No, that's about the same metal I had last time. Alright. He's repairing the Moho mine. We'll get a couple other... Alright, that's fine. I don't have as much energy as I want. Okay, let's go out here and take care of that. Oh, I just said tidal generators. Just tidal generators. All day long. Best energy generation I've got on this planet. Fill it with chocolate. That would be interesting. Oh, those are not tidal generators. I mean, sonar's good too, but I don't need multiple sonar stations. Yes, not enough pylons is definitely the case at the moment. Patrol. I believe so. He's currently generating 105 energy. So after I build this, we'll be good to run for a little bit. Yeah, so here's what I should do, right? I should take this guy and have it... I'm gonna move you guys here. Have him patrol across. Have you patrol the other way. Now I need some more metal. Bring my little rocket launchers and keep them around the mine. That's the big thing I need to defend. If I lose the mine, it's game over. Alright, so now we got plenty of metal. We've got my Moho mine is defended from attack by air. I'm going to build myself a construction vehicle to get myself an advanced construction facility. And then I'm going to build a bunch of flashes to defend against the assault by land, which we know is coming. I'm a little bit confused here. There's definitely like red things in that lower right corner, but I wasn't doing anything with them, which is a little bit strange. I need to build some torpedo launchers. Yeah, so this is definitely where like the micro game could come into play, right? Like if you're very good at the micro game, then you can move these things around all over the place, and because they're constantly moving, they will keep, you know, avoiding things like those missiles that are coming in from the Rangers. Now I am not good at the micro game, but I think even I can play a little bit of it. The key thing is to never be standing in the same place for very long. Oh, okay. Well, that certainly is a lot of ships that I'm not going to get a whole lot out of because there's a lot of them. Alright. Now I've got a whole line of ships that are, you know, going where I need to. Okay, so while we're doing that, we should have been building up here, and we were not. Commander will help out. My construction vehicle can build me an advanced construction lab. We will build a bunch of flashes that are pretty cheap. I can't remember if he's the... Okay. So this guy's the lead. Time to build my advanced shipyard. Yeah, the only problem is that, like, so you set units to guard, and basically what they'll do is they'll follow the thing they're guarding around to try and help make sure that, you know, whatever it's going to do, I'm going to help it do faster. The problem is that sometimes your guarding unit gets in the way of the spot, like when you're guarding something with construction, it gets in the way of what you want to actually build, and so you have to manually move it. It's kind of silly. Okay, you can't do anything useful because we don't have any metals, so let's go ahead and have you reclaim some of that. Build a sonar unit out here. I am the best at micro. You saw how good I was. It was brilliant. Pure, unadulterated brilliance. Okay, so now at least we can see if some things are coming in. Build another one of these over here. So I don't really want to go all the way down because I fear this is going to bring me too close. And also those are tiny metal compared to the big ones. So I'll reclaim my cruiser. That'll pick me up about 700 metal. At that point... Oh, trouble. Changed my mind. Changed my mind. Not going to do that. Run away, little girl. Run away. Okay. You're fine. He is going to build... Yeah, so this is really where... This is like a nice, you know, 1,500 1,700 metal, but that's way too close to be able to do anything useful with. So, okay, so yeah. So loot boxes, I think that if you take away something in a follow-up game, then you're going to pay a penalty. But the penalty should not be death threats. That is ridiculous. People are terrible human beings, and I don't know what to do about it. But I'm actually going to build a radar out here. Okay, so I got nothing here. Go ahead and grab this. Well, I mean, so part of the problem that I look at here is that this is not just like a problem set for a set of individuals. Okay, so we've got tanks incoming, I'm pretty sure. That looks like their tank army. And I have very little to defend against at this time. Alright. Can I build any more torpedo launchers before that? Probably not. Oh, sure. I mean, it's not a case where I have responsibility. It's just a case where, you know, in the same way that I look at politics and say, you know, we should do better. It's not that I think that it is my fault that we're not doing well enough. It's just the fact that I really wish that we would do better. All right. So I think my problem here may be that I am spending too much energy and effort on ground vehicles. I'm spending too much metal on ground vehicles, and I just don't have enough metal to make up for it. So I may have to change that approach. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Get him. Get him. Or maybe I need to give up on the advanced shipyard just because it's not necessary. But something is not working about my approach here. That much is clear. Yeah, that ship is gonna die. Hello, Brandy. Welcome back. But yeah, so overall, we know that I spend a lot of time thinking about, you know, how can I change something about, you know, politics, or change something about, you know, anything in the world, and make the world a better place. The world's a pretty shitty place, you know. One of the things that I try and do is just to teach people, to listen, to do whatever. And certainly I do more of that than I should. I mean, I think we've agreed that I give entirely too many people entirely too much credit when I really shouldn't. But yeah, this is a lost cause. But it doesn't mean that I don't want to do better. Okay, so this mission is not working well for me. I'm going to save... Well, actually, I'm going to wait until I die. It's almost over at this point. Yes! Got their missile ship. That's nice. So can it, like, what is destroying? Is something... Oh, okay. Alright, so I want to take this commander underwater, because if I don't, he's just going to keep getting blown up by the missile ships. The missile ships I don't think can hit me underwater. Oh, that's it. Moho mine died. So what we can do, though, instead, is that I can do a skirmish. So the skirmishes are... I'm actually going to put this as mapped. So these are all basically different maps, and they vary in size. You know, 40 by 40 was... I love that 64 megabyte was considered a huge map at the time. Earthquakes? I didn't know there was earthquakes. And so, like, these maps are... Okay, this map might not be as interesting because it's largely flat. I like some of the like all metal maps that are very heavily kind of detailed. So I'll actually go out of here and start another one. Yeah. Skirmish. I'm trying to think of some of the ones that I like. I don't know. It's hard to remember at this point. I really like some of the metal ones that have like destructed cities and cars and other stuff like that in them. That have a lot of kind of hand-picked detail. Yeah, so this one doesn't have a lot of that. It's just a lot of the same. But this is like a metal world. So one of the things I like about these types of worlds is that basically I don't have to worry about finding places to put mines. So I can just be like, one of the big resource drains in early game is the mines. And so now that I've got basically unlimited metal mining, I can just drop a bunch of these all in a row. It really accelerates the speed with which I can get kind of the early game completed. And that was always fun when I was playing. I'm gonna drop one more here. You guys had a earthquake just earlier today by San Francisco, I guess. I guess that's not you guys when I'm talking to Jose, who's down there. But so Brandy Silvers, if you're hungry, you should have a Snickers. Hungry? Why wait? Although this isn't a Snickers, it's a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, but it's pretty similar. You had an earthquake today, didn't you, Leif? Gotcha. You mean like a big earthquake. Hello, Oni. How's it going? Thank you very much for that super chat. Appreciate it. All right.
98% annihilation. Greater than.
I really need to fix that bug. One of these days.
98% annihilation. Greater than.
So, I don't know which corner they're in, but I'm going to assume this one. So I'm going to fly my peep over here and see how it looks. So this is one of the problems that I have with playing the computer player, at least on the medium difficulty, is that they don't tend to do a lot of like anti-aircraft or anything else like that. So it's very simple to just like, oh, look, I can fly. Oops, I unselected him. I was going to fly in circles around the commander. But yeah, so now I know where the commander is. Like, I can just go with like, 5 to 10 bombers, bomb the shit out of the commander, and that's game over. Like, if you blow up their commander, 1, it does a ton of damage to everything, and 2, usually you just, like, in the current mode it's set in, I just win. And so if I was playing against a human and I knew that this was a strategy, I would be building, like, I would build a light laser tower as basically my first thing in this map. I know that, energy is plentiful and metal is plentiful, so there's no reason for me to not assume that that's going to be an early attack strategy. And so I'd have to defend against that. But he's building like KBots, and KBots would have to walk across this entire giant map. Like, they're never going to be an effective way to attack another player on this map. So I don't even know what the thought process is there. Like, it's just bad AI. But again, I don't actually know what humans would do in this case. Like, I honestly have no experience, so I don't know. Hello, Lumi. How's it going? Long time no see. Well, not that long. I feel like you're at a recent stream as well. But, welcome. Okay, I need some more energy. Not enough pylons. Not enough pylons. Not enough pylons. Alright. But yes, Oni, welcome to the stream. I hope you are having a great Monday. I am having a decent Monday. Okay, so beyond that, oh yeah, so I posted on Twitter that basically like my first experience with fanfic was writing what I would call these days fanfic about this game in a creative writing assignment in probably like 8th grade or maybe freshman year. I basically wrote a story mode thing as one of the, like, as the ARM commander, you know, working against the core, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, alright, let's go ahead and build. That. It's your mom's birthday. Well, happy birthday to Oni's mom. There you go. Now you got your present for her. Yeah, so basically, what we got? Oh, we should have all of the planes. We don't have all the planes. Okay. So I know where the commander was. The commander was right around here. The assumption is that he's still going to be near here somewhere. There he is. And so now I just make the bombing runs all land right on him. And again, like, he's building vehicles and mines and wind stuff and everything else like that, but he's got no defenses. And I don't either. Like, to be clear, I realize... Oh, I didn't select the keeper because... Yeah, so he's like half dead. Brandy, I can answer questions about anything. I can answer questions about life, the universe, and everything. I can answer... But yeah, I mean, I'll answer questions about YouTube. Boom. Yeah. So, like, that's shitty. No, if an answer would get me in trouble, I just won't answer it. Very simple. I mean, the point of life is to enjoy your time with, you know, everyone that we've got. It's to reach out to others, to make connections, to establish them, and to be happy. All right, so here we go. This is the map I was thinking of that I really like. So the southern part is kind of like ARM-ish, right? It's this kind of green, foresty, etc. You got the ocean, but then you've got this whole kind of really cool map full of like buildings and other wreckage and roads, and there's all these little cars and other things like that. And so this map, more than any other to me, like Cheese Factory, like this map more than any other to me kind of is why what I remember about this game having these kind of lovingly handcrafted like textures and other stuff like that. So this is one of the reasons why, you know, so there's a game that's kind of very similar to this, Modern War, not Gears, I don't know, some game with war in the name, something like that, that is clearly attempting to be a Total Annihilation, you know, alternative. And it's nice. I mean, it looks good or whatever, but they went with an 8-bit style of graphics, and to me, it just feels like, no, that's not, you missed the point. The point of Total Annihilation was not to have the 8-bit style of graphics, it's to have something else. So YouTube didn't change to super low latency. YouTube offers ultra low latency as a creator feature. So I choose to use ultra low latency because I love to have the interaction with the chat, and I found that this allows me to do that better. But for other people, they may choose not to. YouTube has the normal latency option, at 30 seconds. You can also add a broadcast delay of 30 seconds, so you can have latency of anywhere between 60 seconds and less than 3 seconds. Or I think a couple seconds is how we described it in the blog post. Both of which are, you know, up to you, and whatever option you want to choose is the option you can choose. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what a human player playing Total Annihilation looks like. Maybe the answer is as simple as, like, you really want to play without planes. Like, I honestly think that part of it is, I realize why they did planes. I think that it is a nice, you know, benefit, but it just feels like it might actually be much easier to balance the game without planes. You know, they do have, like, transport vehicles. I guess you would have to have very different maps for some of them, but, like, you can build ships, and the ships can transport things, and blah, blah, blah. And maybe that would have been the fix that would have made me feel more happy with it, is that then I would feel like it was a more fair or just more fun game. I don't know. It is the case that it's, I mean, it certainly is more difficult to kind of just cheap your way to glory when you can't build, you know, 10 mines in a row. But that's part of the design, is that, like, Core and ARM do that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's to be as good looking as possible, Leif, but I don't think, like, I love the look of, you know, these like textures and these, I don't know, what elements, whatever, these maps. I feel like these maps are super detailed and cool, and to, like, intentionally you know, like, remove details from that, like, to turn it retro or whatever else like that, I feel like is actually kind of missing the point. And so for me, at least, I felt like that was like, oh god, you were so close, because it looks like it's a very similar gameplay, very similar even UI functionality. I mean, it was very clearly directly inspired from Total Annihilation, but not, like, just not at all the same. So I think here they were trying to be realistic, but in the I mean specifically for the not knockoff, but the, you know, newer version that they were working on. Yeah, so, like, just, I don't know, it's so pretty. I like it. And there's all these, like, cool little... is working for YouTube fun? I like working for YouTube. I definitely, it's I mean, but I basically like everywhere I work, because when I don't like it anymore, I stop working there. So it's a little bit hard for me to say if, like, everyone would, or, you know, what the total story is there. But for me, I love working for YouTube. It's fun, it's enjoyable. I work with really smart people, etc., etc. So, but did he actually build? No. Oh yeah. Okay. So he actually did build a light laser tower there. So that's a step. Hello, Gar. How's it going? Unfortunately, it's not gonna be enough, but, you know, whatever. All right. So let's go ahead and move my commander back over here. Gar, we were talking about my poor micro skills, and that I'm not doing nearly enough actions per minute. My APM is too low. I was also talking about the fact that the only reason I know what pylons are is because of you. But yeah, no, I mean, it was earlier in one of the things that I was doing, because I was going through campaign mode, and one of the scenarios was like, oh, I see, like, if I keep my ships and I just keep clicking around these guys in circles, then I'm not going to sit still for, you know, a missile to come in, and that's going to be, you know, something that is good. But I was also complaining about the really kind of... I was also complaining that the game is kind of poorly designed because, excuse me, the use of airplanes kind of makes everything feel pretty cheap. It's very easy for me to even, you know, very early in the game, especially on some types of worlds where you can build basically unlimited metal resources, to, you know, very quickly get up get up a set of resources that you can use to build an airplane, and then you just go bomb the shit out of whoever, and that's all it takes, and the game's over at that point. Like, and it's kind of shitty that, like, there's no, you know, there's not a lot of more smarts than that, and I don't know how you make that better. Like, I don't know how you make a computer AI better. Like I said, if a human was playing, I would be like, okay, the absolute quickest thing you do, you minimize resource usage, and you go ahead and you know, try and get as many laser towers up as possible, or you try and you move your base, you do something else like that. Like, you make it harder to explore and find out where the enemy is. So, you know, something like that. But just the fact that I can quickly build planes, then have those planes go and you know, immediately bomb the commander is very useless. So, but yeah, I am definitely not good at RTS in general. Is not my primary skill set for sure. Aha. So he's got some C units down here, it looks like. Yeah, so he went the shipyard route. So what I'm looking for at the moment is basically to try and find his commander, because if I can find his commander, then I can just blow up the commander. But it seems like in this case, he has actually successfully evaded my initial attempts to do so. He's got ships here that can blow up my little construction craft. So can I build a? I don't want to reclaim that. That's gonna give me a bunch of metal I can't use, but whatever. Yeah, so I got the radar here, but it's not giving me the clues I need. I've never heard of the thing, so I don't know. So I would normally have expected him to kind of start in the top right corner. Huh. That's where I started. Oh, there he is. Found him. Hello, Matus. There we go. Yeah, so, you know, this is relatively early in the game. I built a, you know, enough mines and construction planes to go ahead and attack their commander, and that's kind of it. Like, they're doing pretty well. Like, they've got this kind of big... Yeah, they got an advanced shipyard up and everything else like that, but why not planes? Like, that's my question to you. Like, you're not going to be able to destroy my base if I'm sitting way back in the corner over here with ships, at least not easily. So why not planes? And it feels like I just very rarely see that the computer player is heavily invested in planes. Very rarely do I see them heavily invested in counter plane technology. And so it feels like you're missing an opportunity here. But I will say in this case at least they have put their commander underwater, and I don't know if I can even like reliably hit him that way or not. They've got torpedo launchers, so they clearly on this map have the AI has a water strategy. I think I am still hitting the commander, and maybe that works for them. All right, let's get some more energy built here. YouTube doesn't know, like, the idea that a channel like YouTube makes guesses as to the contents of its content all the time. Those guesses are the best that YouTube knows how to make, which is very different from saying they are good. And so I think that YouTube does its absolute best to try and make good content guesses, because making good content guesses is necessary for recommendations, for advertising, for all kinds of important stuff. But do I think that YouTube is actually good at it? No, not really. I think that they just do what they can. Puh! Core for ARM forever? No way. Core. I want to play Core. Core's like this is like RoboCop versus Terminator, and you're voting Terminator? Screw that. Alright, let's go ahead and... I don't know where the commander ended up, so I'm not gonna win that way, but I am gonna use all of my fighting might to bomb the shit out of their shipyard. I do wonder though, like here, right? They're building torpedo launchers. I am clearly attacking you from the air. Like, at what point do you switch away from torpedo launchers to something that can attack the air? And I realize they can't do that if they've gone all in. I mean, this is just like I don't know. I don't know if a computer AI in RTS was ever good or has ever been good. It probably hasn't. And so for me to kind of sit here and chide it is like, well, duh. But for me, someone who is not, experienced in the ways of RTS, I'm like, I just want a good computer player to play against. Oh, I was wrong. They are building anti-air flak guns. Okay. So it's not enough. It's a little bit too little, too late. But I did not give the computer enough credit. They were actually building what they needed to, and not just building more torpedo launchers, which is what it looked like. There we go. Boom. So yeah, for now, I guess the question is, yeah. So I don't know. So for those of you who haven't seen this game, so Assault on Suburbia was the map we're in, but basically there's a, I guess doing 4 players or 8 players would, or 10 players, I guess, would maybe give me a bit more challenge because I have to defend myself against a second player at the same time. But I really think that planes make this game less interesting. It would be more interesting to like looking at this again. So one thing that I was commenting on is like I do really love like these kind of lovingly handcrafted maps. You know, that someone put all this kind of time and effort to make this happen. You know, so usually the map starts so you can't see it, by the way. I just turned on the mode that you can. So you have these kind of big public art statues, and you have, you know, the road networks and other things like that. So this kind of map is my favorite kind of map. And I absolutely, like it's clear in this case, right, that they designed this so you could start here and start making stuff. So you've got 4 little mining spots, and then you can build solar collectors to get energy, etc. Gotcha. I should have built energy first, not mining. Whatever. I'm so used to being short on metal that just habit. But, like, I mean, but my point is that, like, in this map, sure, having KBots build things... I mean, so the commander is clearly the fastest constructor, right? At least as far as I know. Like, the commander is the fastest constructor. Oh, right. So I wanted to just kind of look at this guy, right? So, like, you know, all of this, you got these... in this case, I just wanted to explore the map. Like these cool statues and everything else like this. And I actually looked into, I vaguely remember back when I was a kid, like looking into building maps for this game or something like that. I think you could actually build your own skirmish maps. So if I was going to like attack on the ground, then yeah, I'd build KBots or I'd build whatever else. But in this case, I'm just like, why wouldn't I just use air? But I just wanted to show off that map a little bit. I wasn't trying to do anything in particular here. Yes, I want to give up. So in the skirmish maps, you've got a bunch of different types of maps. You've got foresty maps and water maps and other stuff like that. So Gar, you're a big StarCraft person, but every time I've seen you playing StarCraft, which I know you only have been playing ladder mode, but every time I've seen you playing it, you've been playing on the same map. Are there other like maps and they just only use the one for skirmishes? Or was that it? I'm assuming it must be that's or for ladder ranked or whatever. But yeah, generally speaking, you don't want to use air constructors. You'd rather just use, you know, KBot labs or vehicles or whatever, depending on what you need. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, so this skirmish, like between the initial game and the expansions that came with it in Steam, you can see that there's probably like 100 maps in here. So you've got canals and you've got ice, you've got metal in the middle, you've got whole metal worlds, where the whole thing, like you can just build metal mines wherever you want. And so again, this is gonna give you kind of like all of this stuff is metal and you can use it wherever. But on almost all of these maps, I'm just like, no, it would be better if this map just did not have airplanes. Gotcha. Okay. So there's a lot of maps. I just don't see them because I only see you play the most popular one. I am interested. I didn't look into it. I would be interested to know. I mean, one thing I would love to know is I'd love to look and see if there's still like a competitive-ish Total Annihilation scene. I'm pretty sure it never, you know, gained the notoriety of StarCraft, so there's probably not as much of it as there is of StarCraft or some of these other games. But it would be interesting to like see that and see if it's still kind of a community that's around. I would love to see what the matches look like. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it is not actually in doubt that thousands of maps and hundreds. Yeah. So there's one thing though that I mean, and this was true even in the original game, was that, you know, there was not good balance. Like overall balance was never, I mean, really overall, like game design I feel like was flawed. So this is a thing that I like. A lot of older games. Oh shit, let's move you over here. A lot of older games, I just feel like the developers didn't put as much like thought into the game balance issues. And so I don't know if that's gotten better as people have just gotten better at designing games, or if that's something where, you know, it was always good and I just, you know, I wasn't around at the time and so I'm assuming it was bad or whatever else. But I have always felt like, you know, Total Annihilation to me was one of the things I looked at and it was like, oh, the Bertha was better at this and Core was better at this, but overall if you want to play, you want to play X. And it was never clear, like, okay, is that like it's 5% better to play X than Y, or is this like it's 100% better, or other things like that? So I mean, Total Annihilation Kingdoms basically just seems like a absolute failure. It was a failure. It was a failure in marketing. It was a fail in design. It was just an absolute failure. So I don't think that there's any question that that could have had an impact on the overall success of the TA thing. I am impressed by their pathfinding on these. I mean, and this must be, you know, a pretty, you know, these maps are. I don't know how much is pre-built, how much is anything else like that, but the fact that, like, oh, I built a solar collector in the way so they can't get out, and so now they're just like, okay, well then we'll just go around. I know pathfinding isn't that hard, but it's one of those things that you know, in a completely open area like this, to do effective pathfinding, and I know I insulted the pathfinding earlier, but still, to do effective pathfinding is really kind of interesting. So gotcha. Yeah, so I don't know, like, how the game balance is perceived in this game. I don't know, you know, how people look at it. I don't know anything really. I really am just kind of like, I loved the maps, I love this game, I put so many hours into it, but I still kind of ask myself, like, what the fuck was, like, why did I not just like build an early map, or build an early, you know, plane base, build a bunch of bombers and bomb the shit out of the commander? Like, what exactly was the defense against that I used, or my friends used when I played them, or, you know, what did people actually do for that? And I have no idea, because I mean, realistically, again, completely non-competitive, like, I would probably just, like, have never occurred to me to cheat that much, but we know now from the CPG cheat emoji that, you know, that is a thing. So it is, yeah. I have core contingency, core contingency and battle tactics are both included. But like, isn't getting a flak gun the type of thing that is like relatively? So yeah, so here at least, right? He got a Punisher up pretty quick. And he's got, it looks like a gat gun or something like that, but as you pointed out, the flashes, the many flashes technique can be a damning approach. And then I still, like, it's things like this, right? Like, I am, oh, okay, so you sent somebody over at least. I was like, I am clearly sitting here blowing up your solar collector. Like, where is your defenses? Where is anything? You got nothing going on, but he does send his one plane to come attack me. It does show that the AI does actually use planes, which is the first time I've seen that. So that's a sign. Yeah, so overall they've got planes going, they've got a hovercraft platform. Oh, there's the rest of my flashes that I didn't know were coming. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, so he's got a Viper, which seems like a pretty advanced laser cannon, but still my flashes just came in and destroyed everything, so. 13 kills, 18 losses compared to his 17 kills, but I still killed him. That's all that matters. That's even without using planes. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things like that where it's like, at least against AI, the enemy is not extremely compelling. But again, I will say that the easiest way to fight that particular thing is like, okay, like now we're gonna have, you know, an 8-player map or something like that. Why can I not do 8 players? I want to do more. Can't do more? So if I pick a hard AI and I, you know, have 4 players on the map, like now it would be more complex because I'd actually have to think like, okay, I can't just micromanage my, you know, units who are attacking this particular commander. I need to do something else. So. Hello, Snarly Charlie. Hello, Kurumi Tokusaki. It's Happy Chris Day. I mean, I don't know. I was definitely very much more like chipper and chatty early in the stream. I've kind of quieted down a little bit. So you go with KBots over vehicles? Really? Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. And I assume that we're going to get a Reckless in here at some point, because that would be kind of what I'd expect. Anyway, so now I've got a ton of questions about how competitive Total Annihilation works, whether there still is anything or anything else like that. Ah, I gotcha. Yeah, so it's just things like that, like game balance issues that I look at, and I'm like, ugh, like, you know, oh, well, of course you want to be armed because you want a Bertha, or of course you want to be core because it has pyros, or of course you want to be armed because of this, or you want to be core, and I guess maybe those things all work out in the end, and basically the two are relatively evenly matched, but it was certainly never my perception when I was playing it growing up as a kid. It's possible that was just me being a stupid kid, but it was not how it seemed. And so I do wonder, you know, what did that look like? Hello, Reckless Ways, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for that raid. And Nightmare, nice to see you as well. I am the Chris who plays games, playing retro games every Monday at 9:15, whatever I feel like, every Friday at 9:15. Tonight we're doing a little bit of a walkthrough of Total Annihilation, as well as having played it earlier as well, so. This Friday, I will be playing Cities Skylines. I am breaking my no sim rule for Cities Skylines because I really like Cities Skylines. So I generally have a no sim rule because I can get super distracted by the game and lose track of doing anything else. It's alright, Reckless Ways. My wife broke her foot not too long ago, and that has been a bit of a difficulty for us. See, I just feel like KBots are so goddamn slow to go anywhere. So that's why I usually, like, I usually quickly build a aircraft facility, because that way I can use it to fly around until I find a couple more places to mine. Because, like, you can't really build a whole lot with just the first 2 or 3 spots that you get. Like, you can have one thing building at a time, but as you can see, like, I'm now, you know, out of energy, or out of metal. So usually that's what I do, is I go aircraft so I can build a construction aircraft so that I can go find metal. They are super slow at construction. Absolutely no doubt. And obviously they are less needed on maps that are core homeworld maps, because when you've got the core homeworld, you've got, you know, no problems there. Am I... Okay. I'm a little bit out of frame. There we go. Yeah, thanks, Reckless Ways. It's going to be a few months before she's back on her feet, so it's just a little bit stressful. Okay. So, because I am theoretically afraid that someone's going to fly in and get me, I will build some anti-artillery or some anti-air K-bots. I guess that's the trick, right? So, like, light laser tower versus is like twice as much energy as a K-bot plus a couple of Jethros, so you probably want to do that. It's like that. How was your stream, Reckless? What were you playing tonight? Oh, more metal. Get some extractor going on here. So were you a big Total Annihilation player back in the day, Matus? You know a lot more than I do. Oh, I didn't realize. I mean, I actually no, I did realize that, but I wasn't thinking of that. You're right. Ah, PvP. I see. Yeah, I've never been a fan of PvP in World of Warcraft. Now, did you play against other people online? Like, I played against like one friend online, and he and I don't think had much difference in skill. So I remember, you know, he and I played against each other, but we didn't have a lot of we would just play like really long matches because neither one of us was any good. Again, I keep going back to like, was playing against a human that much you know, harder than playing against the computer, or did I just never really think about like, why don't you just, you know, why don't you just go blow up his commander? Which, I mean, again, it would have felt cheap, so I also would have like not been surprised if we had a rule of like, you know, no aircraft for the first 15 minutes or anything else like that. Yes. No, this was definitely like, yeah, it was early. You know, I think it was like practically like you dial up your friend via, you know, telephone early. Okay. Players are just much smarter. Now, is building a good AI like just that for like a RTS? Like could someone who really wanted to build a Total Annihilation AI now do it? Or is this one of those things that's just not possible? Also, can my K-bots just like not walk off of this platform at all? Oh, there we go. Nope. He's not gonna get off. So I'm like up on a ledge that I can't get off of, maybe. Okay, I actually did like Battlegrounds. I mean, I know that StarCraft AI stuff is hard, right? Because that's why they're doing like DeepMind or whatever to make it work. I don't fully know, but okay, yeah, so I'm pretty sure I can't walk off this. But I mean, like, to me, the fact that they're doing DeepMind at all, which I realize is not the actual AI, is like an indication that there's a hard problem there. That might be unfair, but that's how I look at it. Okay, so this is a case where, like, I've got this little shelf, but I can't get off the shelf. So I think you would have to use construction aircraft to at least build like a base for yourself separate from your main base. You'd have to like explore other areas and build like KBot labs or vehicle labs somewhere else. Ah, hovercraft. Yeah, so hovercraft were added in core contingency, right? I feel like, I'm not sure, but I feel like those were not original uses. Oh, this is not ground. Oh, they got me. Okay, so there you go. That's the first time I've actually like flown a peeper and had it just get murdered. So that certainly says something about my experience here. Anyway, yeah, so I know very little about StarCraft AI. That is true. This I know to be true. Yeah, so it seems like most of the... So, like, all of the stuff on the ground could only be crossed by hovercraft. Oh, so this is probably a map that was added with the later expansion, so that was basically the expectation, is that they built this around the idea of hovercraft or something like that. Like, this was supposed to be a hovercraft map. And the fact that people did unorthodox things was unorthodox. Yeah, that makes total sense. Like, on a... Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to finish this. I was just wanted to, you know, show off a couple of these. So yeah, so overall things that I still love about Total Annihilation after playing it tonight and after, you know, playing it for many years was, one, I think that they're, like, the details in these maps are still gorgeous to me. And I don't, again, I'm sure if I zoomed in, I would see these are no more special than any other textures that are in any game or whatever else like that. But to me, I look at it and it feels very pretty. The AI leaves, I could say, something to be desired. But overall, it's still... I think that's... I would love to figure out how to kind of get involved and play some amateur games. The problem with that is that, like, this game is from 1997. The idea that there are amateur games like amateur players of Total Annihilation who still care about playing a game from 1997 is pretty unlikely. But I would love to know what, like, human, you know, multiplayer games look like in reality. So I may actually look up some Total Annihilation, you know, skirmishes or something else like that. Figure out if people are still playing and doing things with, just to see what it looks like. But, like, cool units. I mean, and overall, again, like, coming back to it, like, the campaign missions are actually, like, the one that I kept dying on was difficult. Like, I was having a hard time doing that. But then again, it wasn't starting from scratch, which I guess is one of the hard parts here. So, yeah. So TA Universe is the website. Go ahead and build a scout hovercraft. Yeah, this is definitely a hovercraft map. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And makes sense because hovercraft were, as was mentioned, I'm pretty sure added in one of the expansions. And so, yeah, it's been fun to kind of play through the campaign, which I'd never played because, you know, I mostly just played this game with a friend of mine, and it was also fun to kind of check out some of the stuff that's been going on here. So, you know, like I said, City Skylines Friday. We will be doing, I don't know what on Monday. I don't really have any idea. These hovercraft have shitty pathing. I mean, again, I guess at the micro level, the pathing in all of these units is shitty. So. Yeah, well, is that the, yeah. Yeah, so you can get a transport hovercraft. The transport hovercraft will allow you to pick up a thing and move it. You're not gonna go? Come on. You can't find a path around somehow? Interesting. So maybe hovercraft isn't the answer here either. Maybe the answer is just, nope, this map is poorly designed. Or designed for something that I'm not using it for. It does feel like this should be a hovercraft map, but the behavior of my hovercraft is not really encouraging me. Is there an advanced hovercraft base? No, there's not. Okay. And also, like I said, I wrote fanfic about this game. You know, like that's I was deeply, you know, deeply enthralled with the game, at least at one point in my life, and I did a lot of playing. So, you know, when someone said you have to write, you know, creative fiction, I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna be creative. I'm just gonna be creative in a way that's maybe not quite what I wanted. Or not quite what the teacher was thinking, maybe, I guess is what I'm thinking there. Yeah. It's been a fun night. I will be uploading the CPG rant to the mini-VODs playlist. I haven't decided if I'm going to put it up publicly yet, so if you are interested in getting access to behind-the-scenes videos and other things like that, sponsors and patrons from $1 up are welcome to the supporters channel on my Discord, where I link all the videos that I create and upload. I am also going to be... So there is a new feature that YouTube Gaming is testing. And so if you follow this link, here's the link. This is my lounge. My lounge has a 24/7 playlist of stuff, and is constantly playing videos. I haven't built up a great playlist of content yet, but if you ever want to hang out, I'm going to be hanging out there, watching videos, chatting, etc. most of the time from now on, because I'm trying to test the feature. So you can feel free to drop into that link right there. Check out the lounge. We can watch some videos together for a little bit until I pass out. Other than that, thank you all for being here. I hope you have a lovely night. And I'm going to kind of stop streaming because I'm just talking to myself in circles, and see you all on Friday. So hop in the lounge, watch a video, say hi, and thank you all for being here. It's been a lovely night. Thank you, Reckless Ways and everybody else like that. But again, stream link thingy thing right here in the chat. Hop in the lounge, say hello, watch some videos just like we often do on Friday, except it's not on my shitty software, on my shitty website. Take care, Matus. Thank you so much, and thanks for stopping by and talking Total Annihilation. It's a little bit fun. And maybe I'll put together something about it. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people like the game, and some people never seen it. So maybe there's more teaching to be done. Coming back to my CPG rant on content programming, yeah. So check out the lounge. I'll see you all on Friday.